You with Matchday on BBC Radio Suffolk. Ipswich Town are back on the road this afternoon. Our full commentary comes from Ewood Park with Blackburn Rovers, today's opponents. Let's join our commentary team with former Town striker Alex Mathie back alongside Brenna Woolley.
So the question now is, can Town build on their much-needed first win of the season? We all agree that last Friday it was terrific, but let's hope it was also the start of something. That's why this afternoon is particularly fascinating. Trip to Ewood Park is never going to be easy, and like the Blues, Blackburn also come into this one off the back of a victory. Both the Rovers wins so far have been on the road, so their target is a first home success. Whatever happens, you won't miss a kick on BBC Radio Suffolk. Alex, we'll get to today's match in a moment. First of all, got to ask you what you made of Town 5, Sheffield United 0 last Friday.
Yeah, I thought it flattered us a little bit, to be fair, especially the first half. But it's a much-needed confidence booster for the full club, from the board all the way down, and the fans. We've struggled of late with the step coming down from the Premiership, but I think it's a big confidence booster. I mean, a lot of players will get a lot out of that, and hopefully we'll see the best of them. People like Jayden Philogene, who's not really shown his form with what Aston Villa paid for him from Hull. Hull, he was explosive, scored goals for fun, went to Villa, never really played regular, and he's lost a lot of confidence. But those 3 goals last week, I'm really praying that brings him, and we see the Philogene of the Hull City, not the Philogene that we've seen so far for Town. I'm really pleased that he had a really good game and scored a few goals.
It was a terrific hat-trick, wasn't it, in terms of the quality of all 3 goals?
Yeah, 3 great strikes, and it just showed that he'd been working on it. He said after the game that he'd been working on his left foot and stuff like that, and that last goal of his with his left foot was a great strike. But that's going to give him loads of confidence. Plus, I also think, Brenna, Leif Davis, I'd never seen him give the ball away as much as he did in the first 3-4 games. That game against Sheffield United, he was back to his best. He was getting forward, putting great crosses into the box, and that's where we want Leif Davis. It's going to take time for the team to gel, but it's a great confidence booster, as I say.
Yeah, Leif was terrific last week, I would agree. As the 2 teams come out of the tunnel down below us here at Ewood Park, it's game 6 for both of these sides, both of them starting the afternoon on 6 points. Ipswich Town with a win and 3 draws, and it's 2 wins and 3 defeats for Blackburn so far. They also went out of the Carabao Cup at the first round stage as well, so game 7 overall for these 2 teams at Ewood Park, which has got a fair number of empty blue and red seats around this ground that holds over 31,000, nowhere near capacity, and it is a wet and grey afternoon in this corner of Lancashire. Well, straightforward team selection for Kieran McKenna, no changes to his starting 11, not a massive surprise when his team won 5-0 last time. The only alterations on the bench, Ashley Young in for Ben Johnson. So Palmer once again in goal for Town. The back 4 of Furlong, who we heard from earlier on match day, O'Shea the captain, Greaves and Davis, who Alex was just praising. The usual 2 in midfield, usual so far anyway. Matusiwa alongside Kayuste, and this is the 3 of McAteer, Akpom and Philogene. Philogene, who scored 7 goals in his last 11 championship appearances. And George Hurst is back at Ewood Park. He leads the line, looking for his 3rd of the season. On the bench for Town, Walton, Azon, Kipre, Smodix, a hero in this part of the world. He got an excellent ovation when he ran in from his warm-up a few moments ago, the former Blackburn player, who pretty much single-handedly kept them up a couple of years ago. Taylor, Jack Clark, Young, Eggerly and Nunez. Town, by the way, are wearing their 3rd kit, effectively launching that here for the first time this afternoon. I believe it's volcanic ash with hints of Atlantic blue, so I've been told. And also a really nice touch, apparently the players have bought shirts. They've each bought 1 shirt, which has been handed over to supporters ahead of this game, so that's a really nice touch from Ipswich Town. A couple of changes actually for Blackburn. One has just been made in the last few moments. Tavares pulled up in the warm-up, so Gardner Hickman starts this game. Originally it was just going to be 1 alteration at centre-half. Carter is out from the team that beat Watford a week ago. Miller makes his full league debut for Rovers, the Australian centre-half. Balash Tot is their keeper. Play the same system as Town. The back 4, Alabiosu, Miller, Wharton and Ribeiro. Then it's Tronstadt now alongside Gardner Hickman. A 3 of Morishita, Cantwell the captain and Hedges. And up front it's Ohashi, who's their leading goal scorer with 9 last year. Just 2 survivors, Wharton and Hedges, from the last time we were here. Lots of alterations at Ewood Park this summer. On the bench, Pears McLaughlin back after a ban. He was sent off here in their last home game when they lost 2-0 to Norwich. Pickering, Montgomery, Deneva, Cargbo, Gay and Gudjonsson. Just the 8 subs. They haven't called up a replacement for Gardner Hickman, who, as I say, has been elevated into the starting lineup late on. Ipswich Town in their pre-match huddle off to our right-hand side. So they'll be kicking away from the visiting fans. As the referee this afternoon, Stephen Martin, 21 yellows in his 4 games so far. Very experienced referee at this level, Mr. Martin. Town have had him in charge for a fair number of their games down the years. And it's Ipswich Town who are going to be kicking off. It's Chuba Akpom on the centre spot, and he rolls the white ball back to O'Shea, and the captain launches it long. Blackburn in their half and half shirts, half white, half blue, with their white shorts and blue socks, and they are obviously defending the Ronnie Clayton Blackburn end off to our left-hand side. It's a really rare win for Ipswich Town in their promotion season. 1-0, Chaplin with a goal on that occasion, but just that was the only win in the last 12 league games here. A run stretching back 34 years. 30 years, incidentally, obviously. 2025 since Blackburn won the Premier League title. Jack Walker, Kenny Dalglish, Alan Shearer and so on. Hurst tussling with Miller. Miller clips the ball out square for a throw into Ipswich, midway inside the Blackburn half of the field. Leif Davis has the ball above his head. Davis throws the ball to Kiyuste. Kiyuste's first touch wasn't the best, allows the Blackburn midfielder to close him down, tries to punt it long. Tronstad, it comes off Kiyuste, out behind for an early goal kick to Tot in lime green.
I'm not sure about this trip, Brennan.
I was just going to ask you your thoughts on this. Not a fan?
Not a fan. For saying that, I'm not a fan of a lot of the new strips, but yeah.
It's maybe going to be a grower. Here is Tot with his first goal kick of the game for Blackburn. Just 90 seconds on the clock here. Both managers, Kieran McKenna, Valerian Ishmael, down below us. Thankfully it stopped raining in the last half hour or so. Greaves heads the ball away from the back. It's Hurst who is hurrying his man Ribeiro, the Portuguese left back, on the far side, and he's won Ipswich Town a throw-in as their number 9. Furlong goes back to O'Shea, square to Greaves. Greaves out to this left-hand side, and Davis, getting a bird's eye view of the Davis-Philogene combination in this first half. On the centre spot, O'Shea rolls it to Furlong, who spoke well in that interview that we played earlier on BBC Radio Suffolk. Furlong makes himself available on the far side of the field. Little drag back, gives it to O'Shea as a balloon swirls around the area off to our right. O'Shea with a switch of play. Alabiosu, former Arsenal player, heads it away from right back for Blackburn. One of their many summer rivals, Alabiosu. Remember him playing for Arsenal in the EFL Trophy for the Gunners under-21s a couple of years ago, the dark days of League One. Mr. Martin unhappy with the placement of that free kick, so Alabiosu, who's been playing in Belgian football recently, is going to get a second opportunity.
Thought it was a soft free kick, Brennan. Didn't think there was much in it.
Some fans in good voice, largely off to our right-hand side. That's the noisy end. Blackburn on the left with Hedges. Edge of the Ipswich Town area. Dink cross into the centre. Actually wasn't tall enough. Headed away by Davis. That had been a couple of inches taller. That would have been troublesome for Palmer in his orange kit.
Yeah, it would have been 1-0, Brenner, because he wasn't missing that.
No, he wasn't, was he? It was a nice ball in from Hedges. He was a good wide player, very experienced at this level. Former Aberdeen man who started his career at Everton. Decent player. Throw in, which Miller, on his debut for Rovers, is going to be taken in the 4th minute of this championship match. Town defending the end off to our right. Into their box it comes. It bounces over the top of Palmer. Oh, and he had to take evasive action at the very last second. That would have been the most embarrassing of goals conceded by Town. But Palmer's tipped it over the top for a corner.
Yeah, he lost all sight of it, didn't he? And it just bounced, and I thought it was going to go in. He did well to recover, though.
He did very well in the end, but that was heart-in-mouth stuff. Corner kick to Blackburn. It's the former Norwich player Cantwell, their captain, to take. His name was booed by the Town fans earlier on when it was read out on the PA system. Cantwell's left hand is in the air. The red number 10 on his back. Foley comes, former Rangers player, puts it towards the far post. Free header for Greaves to deal with. Nodded back into a dangerous area. Palmer goes up, punches it away from Ohashi. It's going to be another throw for Blackburn, exerting a little bit of pressure on Ipswich Town's defensive third in the early stages.
I think the goalkeeper's got to come and catch that, Brenner, hasn't he? Rather than punch it. We've seen this a lot more in all games now, even the Premiership, the long throws coming back into play, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Saw Newcastle doing it a few times the other night against Barcelona.
Brentford have had success as well. Heard Keith Andrews talking about it last week. Miller with this long throw for Blackburn into the Ipswich area, headed away by Greaves after a shout because Kiyuste ducked under it. On the right wing, now it's Miller dropping his shoulder, trying to get his crossing. Closed down by Davis, who kept his eye on the ball well, but the ball is still in the Ipswich Town defensive third. Exactly 5 on the clock. Blackburn knocking on the door, trying to get the first goal of this game. It's Miller's shirt flaps in the breeze. Foley comes with another long throw into the Ipswich Town area. It's bounced inside the box, headed down by Akpom, carried on by Philogene, but he loses out to Tronstadt. Here is Miller once again, back to the halfway line. Tronstadt to Cantwell. Cantwell playing in the number 10 role. Miller knocks it forward, headed away by Greaves, touched forward by Cantwell. Here is Kiyuste, nicely done. He gives it to Philogene with his orange boots on near side. What a performance that was from him last Friday night. Ipswich Town's first championship hat-trick for 9 years. O'Shea into midfield. Akpom trying to turn, lots of water on the surface. He's splashing around in it as he goes to ground.
It's a horrible day. There's horrible conditions out there. That wind's quite swirly as well. Do you know what I mean? You can see it just swirling around, and that rain's just relentless.
Yeah, it's one of those days you just think, come here, get a 1-0, do the job, move on. We shall see. It's going to be tough for both sets of players. Town through Matasiwa, get the ball rolling again. Now with Furlong, infield to Kiyuste. Kiyuste is robbed. Tronstadt seen a bit of the ball. The number 6, one of the holding midfielders for Blackburn. Here's the other one, Gardner Hickman. He plays it forward. Palmer's out of his area. Judged that well. Closed down by Hedges. And it's off Hedges, surely, for an Ipswich Town throw to Darnell Furlong. He's been told to go back a few yards. No. Actually, the referee's given it to Blackburn Rovers.
They didn't know. He didn't know. The ref didn't know, and the linesman didn't know. And he's went with the shout. Who shouted loudest there? That's what's happened there, I tell you.
Classic example, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Another throw to Blackburn. Ball boy hands a towel to Miller to dry the ball. This is clearly what Liam Miller has brought to Blackburn Rovers this afternoon. A long throw specialist. He's replaced Carter in the starting lineup. We've seen a lot of the ball early on, Miller, most of it in his hands. Miller with another long throw into the Ipswich area. Pings around and might break for Hedges. No, it doesn't. Palmer gets there and just prevents it from going out for a corner kick. Town have got a man down on all fours. I think it's Chuba Akpom. The referee's just going to check on his well-being. Bit of pressure from Blackburn, and well, most of this first 7.5 minutes, Alex.
Yeah, and it's all been in the air as well, hasn't it? It's all been in long throws. Not a lot of actual football being played, but yeah, they're putting us under a little bit of pressure.
Here's Palmer. He's had a couple of tricky things to deal with, but has dealt with them. Made a lot to him and the back line, in particular that clean sheet last week. Greaves takes a bit of a chance there as Ohashi's very busy round about him. Eventually he fouls Greaves. Free kick taken quickly by Ipswich. Palmer's got the ball in the D off to our right, goes short to his captain O'Shea. O'Shea holds on to it. He's got the two midfielders very close to him, gives it to Kiyuste, who one touch finds Matasiwa. Hurst up to the right hand side, nice movement from Town. McAteer has got Furlong on the overlap. McAteer looks up, puts a low ball into the box. Philogene with a shot straight at the goalkeeper. Lovely break from Ipswich Town and their first sight of goal, and it was last week's hat-trick hero who played it in the end straight at Tot.
Oh, he'll be disappointed with that, I think. He's done well, he's hit the target, but it's a great ball from McAteer and a good build-up play. Hurst getting a hold of it, first time out wide. McAteer, good ball into Philogene, running onto it. Oh, I just thought he's done the right thing. He's hit target, but just no pace on it.
It's very good football from Ipswich Town. If you're a Blackburn Rovers fan, you think, wow, that was a bit special from this lot. They could be tasty coming forward. We certainly believe that about Town. Matusiwa, good play to McAteer, seen a bit of the ball. Didn't have an option there, couldn't take it on himself. He was eventually surrounded by a triangle of 3 Blackburn fans. Hurst has injured a Blackburn player. The referee's going to cross to him. I thought the foul was on Hurst, but the Blackburn player's come off worse. The referee's seen something in there that he thinks warrants a card for George Hurst, I think. Yellow for Hurst. We're a long, long way from that.
Yeah,
the referee made his mind up immediately that Hurst did something wrong.
Just watching it now, Brenner. Oh, he's caught him though. He has caught him. But what's happened before that? Hurst and Miller were pushing at each other, trying to get to closing each other down, and it's been quite niggly already. Hurst and his 2 centre halves. He just needs to calm down a little bit because they are winding him up, and he was late with that challenge.
Well, the referee immediately went to his back pocket. It was Yuri Ribeiro, the Portuguese left back, who took the brunt of it, but he's up on his feet, thankfully. Still 0-0, 10 minutes gone. Good break from Town a few moments ago. Philogene with the effort on target. Long kick downfield. Ball skips off the wet surface, straight back to Palmer. Palmer underarm, gives it to Greaves, who touches it back to Palmer. Once again, the 24 Greaves along the deck, kept in by Leif Davis on this near side. Infielder goes to Custe on the stretch. And Philogene, excellent quick feet from Philogene before he's tripped from behind. Free kick just inside the Ipswich Town half of the pitch, which is bound to get up as this one progresses. Greaves, infield to O'Shea. Finished just a couple of points outside the playoffs last season. Blackburn Rovers looked to be going nowhere, taking 2 points out of 24, but then they got themselves going. Leif Davis down the left-hand side for Ipswich Town, outside the Blackburn box, gives it to Philogene, who's offside. He shouldn't have been. As he received that ball, I looked straight towards the official on the far side, and the flag has gone up. That was a lackadaisical moment from Philogene.
Yeah, shouldn't be caught off there. But again, good play again from Town. I just think our pass has been a lot more slicker today, the first 10 minutes. The passing movements that we've done, it's been nice and sharp, a lot better. They've obviously been working on that on the training field.
Yeah, I really do think the international break helped Ipswich Town a lot. Forward from Tott, comes off Furlong. He in a 50-50 challenge with Hedges. Both of them went down. Hedges is still appealing for a foul. Play on, says the referee. Palmer to Matusiwa. O'Shea into midfield, and Custe holds it up against the half-hearted challenge of Marishta. Ball given away by Town, then given away by Blackburn. Custe bypasses the referee, gets the ball to Davis on the halfway line. Davis to the left. Oh, terrible ball from Davis. Off target, trying to find Philogene. And it goes for a throw to Blackburn. Yeah, they had a run towards the end of last season, 2 points out of 24, but then got a draw, 4 wins and a draw to end their season in really good form, but just the gap was too big to extend their season. But what, 3 times out of the last 4 seasons they finished in the top 8. It's that one season when they were 19th when Smodic scored all those goals, so that would have definitely been a relegation season if Sam Smodic hadn't kept them up. Running infield is McAteer, trying to find Hurst. He couldn't find him, then he slides in, might break to Philogene. No, Aladiosu gets it back to Tott. Tott clears the Hungarian to the centre spot. O'Shea deals with Ohashi. And then it's Furlong who picks up the loose ball. 0-0 live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Furlong's attempted pass forwards collected on the far side by Ribeiro. Down the line to Hedges. Back it goes to Ribeiro. Shown no ill effects from that challenge by Hurst. Cantwell, who came from Rangers last season, made more than 100 championship appearances for Norwich. After coming through their academy. He's a good player, Cantwell. Here is Miller. Up towards Ohashi, quickly in goes Greaves. Ball kept in by Philogene, skips away from Marishta, takes on another and beats him, but then loses the ball. Kieran McKenna appeals for the free kick, and Ipswich Town are given it.
Yeah, we'll take it. Just a little tug, wasn't it?
Yeah, knew what he was doing. Town free kick right on the halfway line. Alex Matthew alongside me at Ewood Park, watching this so far goalless draw between Blackburn and Ipswich. O'Shea's attempted pass for Davis comes off Marishta, and it's out for a throw to Ipswich. Davis has the ball, spots the run of Kayuste just inside the Blackburn area. Still Kayuste gets the byline into the middle, it comes, saved by Tott just off his goal line. Great run from the Swede.
Yeah, good play from Kayuste. He's just let the ball do the work, let the pace of the throw in go by people. It's just the final ball. The goalkeeper's done well, get down to his near post. But yeah, good play from Kayuste.
Wharton, square across Blackburn's back line, finds Miller. Miller forward towards Cantwell. Ball's going to run off the grass and into touch for a Leif Davis throw in. Referee's telling him to go back. You can probably hear the whistle in the background. Davis getting ready with this throw in.
Probably the emptiest I've seen this stadium.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely. Very sparsely populated. Tronstadt zips the ball back to Tott. Just having a little look around. Lots of empty seats. Straight downfield from Tott. It goes beyond O'Shea. And from one goalkeeper to another, Alex Palmer plays it out on this left side of the centre halves to Greaves. One or two people actually just arriving now. They're very late. Oh, poor from O'Shea. Marishta takes it away from Kayuste. Marishta with a chance for Blackburn. Shoots saved by Palmer and then gathers at the feet of Cantwell. That was sloppy from Town at the back, giving away a real chance to Rovers there.
It's happened 2 or 3 times now. We just need to be careful with our passing with from the back. We caught out a couple of times.
It's the most difficult save, but in these conditions, well done Palmer all the same. He's walking the ball out of his D, draws in Ohashi, and then just pretty much allows Dara O'Shea to take over. O'Shea to Furlong on the far side. Ball is with Akpom. I've mentioned his name for a little while, playing that area in behind Hurst, which he says is his favoured position. Played a lot of football in wide areas for Ajax, but he'd like to be in that area behind the central striker. Nice 1-2 on the far side to McAteer and Matusiwa. Excellent by the Dutchman, who eventually loses his footing as he's been lent on. It's going to be a free kick to Ipswich Town, and it becomes 1-1 in terms of yellow cards. That's a Blackburn player going in the book, which I think was the left back, Ribeiro.
Yeah, good play from Matusiwa. Really was. Really pushing himself forward. Good link-up play. Nice to see him bombing forward there, trying to get down the right-hand channel. That's a clear free kick. This could be a difficult one for Blackburn to defend, Brenner. If he whips this in just between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box and see if we get somebody on the end of it. I would just like to see Philogene coming round the back post, because sometimes he overhits it.
It's Gardner Hickman. He was the player given a yellow card for that foul on Matusiwa. It's a nice break from Town. Town have a free kick, around about 28 yards from goal. Over in the far side of Ewood Park, Ipswich Town attacking the goal off to our left. Davis is over this. He'll be in-swinger off his left boot. Cantwell is the one-man wall. A chance for Town in the 18th minute to break the deadlock. And it comes from Davis, headed away by Wharton. As far as Kayuste, his driven effort hits the player directly in front of him, Marishta. Dinked away to Hedges on this near side. Hedges keeps the ball in. Touch off of Matusiwa's helped Hedges actually. Blackburn on the counter-attack. Hedges to Cantwell, overhits it. Davis will step in there and take the ball away from Cantwell, but then runs into traffic. Marishta wins it. Back it goes to Greaves. Greaves into his area to Palmer. Palmer out to O'Shea. Town can build from the back at 0-0. Crossing halfway, far side, the Ipswich right. Here's Darnell Furlong. Lets it go to McAteer. Gets it back. Furlong does. McAteer played a big role in that effort that Philogene hit on target earlier on. After Town's best bit of football so far in this game. Nice ball up from Furlong to Akpom, taken excellently by the Ajax player. Nice 1-2 between Hurst and Akpom. Akpom keeps it in, only just for Tott to gather up in the Blackburn 6-yard area.
Yeah, I just think when we get the ball wide, Hurst is waiting out in the edge of the box. We really need to try and be peeling away and try and get in the box for the cross coming out of the box. Try to be too precise at times.
Had a play on the far side off an Ipswich Town player. Throw therefore to Blackburn Rovers. 8th season in a row for them in the Championship. 13 out of the last 14 seasons have been at this level. They did have 1 year down in League One. Came back. Not the first time of asking. Valerian Ishmael, former Barnsley and West Brom manager, currently in charge here, succeeding John Eustace after he went to Derby last year. Cantwell slides in, wins the ball before Hurst. Blackburn switch to this near side. Alabiosu dinks it beyond Davis to Marishta. Marishta looks up, tries to get Ohashi in behind. Doesn't have enough bend on the ball, and O'Shea was policing him anyway. Palmer comes out of his 6-yard area and scoops it up. Matthew Siwa given away straight to Wharton. Good interception by the Blackburn centre half. He read that well. Here is Marishta. Marishta into the middle looking for Hedges. Just too much on that. And again, it's back with Palmer.
Yeah, both teams passing, letting them down. I was just saying how good they were in the short passing, but the long passes were giving them away too easy.
Matthew Siwa to Kiyuste. Kiyuste finds Greaves just short of the halfway line. Still looking for our first goal of the afternoon on BBC Radio Suffolk. Here is Philogene, the number 11. Back it goes to Greaves. Greaves into the centre, and O'Shea. Here's Greaves once again, forward to Kiyuste. Davis available on this left-hand side. Kiyuste turns and finds O'Shea on the centre spot. Ball still in the centre of the field. Akpom now gets it, weaves away from a couple of Blackburn players square. Now Greaves down the line to Davis outside the Blackburn area, knocks a little ball into the box towards Philogene. Clever play from Davis. Philogene then plays it off the chest of Miller. Corner kick, number 1 to Town.
Yeah, good ball from Davis, good movement from Philogene as well. Got control of it. It's probably all he could get was a corner.
Town fans in good voice as we get ready for this first Ipswich Town corner kick of this afternoon. Philogene is on it. It's going to be an in-swinger off to our left-hand side. Brooke and his orange boots of his due. Still looking for the first goal of the afternoon. Into the Blackburn box it comes. It's travelled a long way. Might be a chance for Hurst. He's gone to ground, but the referee's whistle is a positive one for Blackburn. I think it's a free kick to top. Let's go back to Graham at 0-0.
Yes, 0-0 and all the other 3 o'clock kickoffs. Apart from Fratton Park, where it's Portsmouth 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Barry Bannon.
Portsmouth Ipswich Town's next opponents. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff next Saturday at Portman Road. On the far side, Blackburn work the ball well into midfield. Tronstadt. Now it's Marishta. Back to Tronstadt. Hedges on the ball. They've worked it nicely down this right-hand side now. Alabiosu, very progressive play from Blackburn. Alabiosu taking on Davis, beating him. In comes his cross to the far post. No one there just yet. Furlong has to deal with the run of Cantwell, and does. He heads it out for a corner kick to Blackburn. That was nice play from the home team. It was good. Slick football. The ball to the back post wasn't the best ball. It was always going to be ours. But the initial play was very good. And it's already this weekend. Middlesbrough, Birmingham, and also QPR. Leicester against Coventry at lunchtime was 0-0. Middlesbrough top of the pile with 16 points from their 6 games. Going well for Rob Edwards in the northeast. Cantwell with this corner for Blackburn, a low one, not what he intended. Nothing comes of it. Pom clears into the path of Philogene, who for the moment's on the far side, the right. Philogene's going to have to go it alone. Gets towards the halfway line, turns back. Tries to play it in field, closed down by Miller. And it cannons off the shin pad of his, out behind Palmer's goal. Another goal kick to Ipswich. The referee wants to sort something on this near side. Having a word with the 4th official. Is he changing his watch or something? Yeah, that's problem with his technology, Mr. Martin.
Yeah, he's not charged his Apple Watch last night.
No, he's not.
His cable, he's lost his cable, he's left it in the hotel.
Boy, do they have enough technology on them these days. Not like the days when a referee would have a notepad, 2 cards and a whistle, and that'd be it. Get out there and get on with it. They're wired for sound. Near side, the ball's out for a throw-in to Leif Davis. It's very quick change over there. One that Formula 1 would have been proud of. That just took seconds. Davis with a throw to Matthew Siwa, surrounded by 3 Blackburn players. He loses it. Cantwell has it. Goes square. Held up. Could have gone forward there, Cantwell, but thankfully he didn't. He's passed it back to Wharton, then got it again. On the far side, Ribeiro. Cantwell, Town fans are bothering to boo him again. Now Blackburn in midfield with Gardner Hickman. Here is Miller. Gets it back from Marishta. Town keeping their shape, men behind the ball. Hurst closes down Wharton. Now it's with Cantwell. Skips away nicely from McAteer. Good play from Cantwell. Now with Gardner Hickman on loan from Birmingham, I think it is. Gardner Hickman actually played against Town on the opening day of the season. Good play from Blackburn. Cantwell at the heart of it. Cantwell still on the ball, closed down by a couple of Town players. Greaves and Matusiwa did a job. Here is Alabiosu seen the ball out. Big, strong, tall boy, the right back, Alabiosu. Gives the ball to Tronstedt. It's been nice from Blackburn the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, Cantwell should have shot.
Should have done,
he should have shot. He played time, and that's what the Blackburn fans were getting frustrated at. Good football, but no end product there.
He's a talented player, Cantwell. Just overplayed there on a couple of occasions, really. Now here is Scott Wharton, brother of Adam. His brother is one of my favourite players to watch in the Premier League at the moment. I think he's an awesome talent, Adam Wharton at Crystal Palace, who came through here like his older brother Scott a centre-half. Adam, a very talented midfielder. Here is Miller playing alongside him. Wharton is back on the ball, looking forward. Alabiosu's made a run from right back centrally. Hasn't happened. Cantwell. That's ominously seen a fair bit of the ball, Cantwell. Now it goes back to his goalkeeper, Tott. Blackburn playing it short to Wharton. Town haven't touched the ball for a while. Blackburn there playing it around at the back. Tronstedt round the corner, does ever so well. Actually, it's Gardner Hickman finding Tronstedt to Cantwell, just too far in front of him. Well read by Furlong, who steps in there and finally gets the ball back for Ipswich Town. But that was a nice passage of play from Blackburn. Kept in by McAteer's head, far side. Here is Furlong, 0-0. Furlong infield to Greaves, live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Greaves plays the ball to halfway, and Philogene. There is Jens Kayuste to O'Shea. Gives it square to Greaves, who can't go forward. Back with Palmer. Palmer thought about going long. So nothing in this game at the moment, and not a great deal happening either when Ipswich Town have possession. Furlong, ball in field, intercepted. Not good from Furlong, but it's run to Kayuste, that interception from Gardner Hickman. Greaves up towards Davis. Davis to the left-hand side, Philogene. What can Ipswich Town do now on the break? Philogene, everything to his right, flanked by a couple of Blackburn players. Skips in field, round the corner, looks to Kayuste, gets it back. Philogene hits it wide. Not off a Blackburn player, just the connection wasn't what he intended from 20 yards. It's a goal kick.
Better though from Philogene.
Yeah.
Try to get into that shooting position that he scored his couple of goals last week. Coming in on his right foot. Just didn't work out for him, but positive though.
Yeah, when he was trying to play the 1-2 with Kayuste, it actually came back to him off a Blackburn player. He found himself in a nice position, so probably a little bit frustrated with his finish. He's had Ipswich Town's best effort on goals so far, Philogene. O'Shea controls the ball for Matusiwa. 27 minutes gone in this championship game. Took a fair old while for those lunchtime goals to come for QPR and Birmingham. Still no goals in this one. No foul given. Kayuste lost the ball easily. On the right-hand side, Blackburn have it with Marishta. Recent signing, pulls the ball back, edge of the area, controlled and hit by Gardner Hickman. Goes up in the air off of the defender. Akpom back helping out. Thankfully he did. Again, Blackburn the better team at the moment. Given away by Wharton, seized upon by McAteer. What can Ipswich Town do now? McAteer plays it in early, looking for Hurst. Wharton, though, guides it back to his goalkeeper Tott, who touches it out to Miller at left back. He plays it off McAteer. McAteer's going to try and get after that one, but it just had enough steam to go out behind for a goal kick. Yeah,
he's either got to do it early to Hurst, or he's got to take his time, Brenner. He's tried. He's done in between, and that's why he's been caught out. He's unlucky though. Good break.
28 on the clock, still 0-0 in this championship match here at Ewood Park. It's a goal kick which Tott is going to be taken off to our left-hand side. After Portsmouth next week, Town have their first midweek championship game of the season. There'll be plenty more to come. We're at Bristol City a week on Tuesday, and then 2 weeks tomorrow, Norwich City are at Portman Road. And then we're away to the league leaders Middlesbrough after that. Blackburn on the attack, wide left. Hedges plays the ball into the Ipswich area. Doesn't get over the top of O'Shea. Comes back there to Hedges. Up against Matusiwa, who looked to have got the final touch. Yeah, the referee agrees. It's a corner to Blackburn. Mark Hudson's quickly up off the Ipswich Town bench, the set-piece specialist, trying to communicate to the 10 defensive players who've joined Alex Palmer in his penalty area. Cantwell under the big screen over in the far right corner of Ewood Park, has this third corner kick of the afternoon for Blackburn Rovers. Trying to get the first goal in the wind and rain. And it comes from Cantwell, headed away by O'Shea, brought down by Tronstadt, gives it back to Alabiosu, who thought about dinking it straight back into the area, wasted too much time. Akpom challenged him. Alabiosu then knocks it into the box. It should be Palmer's, and it is.
He's had a lot of good blocks, Akpom.
He has, I was just thinking that.
Yeah, he's had 3 or 4 now. He's worked very hard to close down the Blackburn players. Fair play to him.
Yeah, Palmer towards O'Shea. He gives it to Kiyuste. That will please Kieran McKenna very much. He was quick to praise the likes of Jack Clark in the aftermath of last week's game, what he got from him in a defensive sense, and coming on and being desperate to keep that clean sheet and see the win over the line. Part of their jobs wherever they are on the field. Palmer with disguise finds O'Shea inside his penalty area. O'Shea will carry the ball out of the box. Cantwell goes after him, but he gets it up towards Akpom. Akpom down through the centre circle to Greaves. Greaves motoring forward, still with the ball at his feet. Eventually gives it to Davis. Davis infield looking for Greaves. Read by Blackburn player. Morishita goes down under a challenge from the former Hull defender and wins Blackburn a free kick, which they take quickly. Tronstadt finds Gardner Hickman. Back to Wharton. Cold afternoon as well at Ewood Park. It's Miller, square to his fellow centre-half. Wharton returns the ball to him. Valerian Ishmael out of his technical area, trying to organise something or other out there, trying to communicate his message. Up to halfway from Miller. Tronstadt gives it to Cantwell. Cantwell holds it up. Look for the gap to release Alabiosu on the right, but it closed down quickly. Blackburn get it back through Tronstadt to Cantwell. Cantwell goes diagonally out to the far side, easily read and headed away by Furlong, but only as far as Hedges. Hedges controls the ball, gives it to Ribeiro. Hedges wants the return. Furlong brings it down, clears, and he's clattered into. Free kick at the back to Ipswich Town, I think.
It's a bit disappointing. We've had one shot at goal, haven't we? And that was from about 25 yards from Blackburn, when the keeper saved. That's been about it.
It has been so far. Just so fairly early on, it could be one of those afternoons you just take the 1-0, put the 3 points in your back pocket and crack on.
Oh, to be fair, Philogene had one, didn't he, as well? So
yeah.
One each, yeah.
Here is O'Shea. Could, though, open up. Still goalless at this point between these two teams. Both sides clearly trying to play football. Furlong goes back to O'Shea. And it was never going to be the case that Town were going to walk all over Blackburn and it was going to be another 5-0. It's always going to be more like this kind of game. Greaves to Philogene. Philogene with a step over, everything to his right-hand side, takes on his man left foot, a little dink ball into the area, caught easily by Tot, scampering off of his near post.
Yeah, not a lot on there, Philogene. He's done nothing ball into the box, really.
There is Ryan Hedges, seeing plenty of the ball. Goes back to Scott Wharton. Square to Miller as the wind picks up again. The wind's more of a factor than the rain at the moment. Here is Wharton once again for the home team. 12.5 minutes to go until half-time. Making a run far side is Ohashi, yet to really get a sight of goal. The Japanese. Only played in his native Japan before moving to Blackburn summer before this one. Touch from Miller back to Tot. Tot out to Wharton. Risky football from the back. Wharton passes it to Cantwell on halfway. He loses his footing in the puddles. Thankfully for Town, because that was a good initial ball up to him. Palmer to Kiyuste as a patch. Just kind of looked down at the centre circle. 10 or 11 o'clock, that kind of area. It's really heavy with surface water. Greaves, the rest of the pitch doesn't seem to be too bad, but that was a real splash from Cantwell when he went down there, having had trouble controlling the ball. Palmer hits his crossfield ball to the far side. McAteer, his header comes infield, but Akpom is there. Tronstadt slides, wins the ball for Blackburn, gives it to Alabiosu. Hoists it to the near side. Greaves wins the header, brought down nicely by Philogene. Philogene carries it on, skips away from the challenge of Hedges. Square to Furlong, out to the far side. McAteer, one-on-one with his defender Ribeiro. McAteer gets into the box, in comes his cross, comes off a Blackburn player. And pops up perfectly for Tot on his near stick.
Yeah, he's just got. I just think he had more time than what he thought there, because Furlong's done a great run on the overlap, and the two defenders has went with him, and he's still put the cross in. He just held on to it for another 5 seconds. It would have opened up for him. Just a couple of occasions McAteer's got himself in some good positions. He just needs to be that little bit more patient.
11 minutes to go until half-time on BBC Radio Suffolk, 0-0. Nice take from Marishta towards Cantwell. Now Ohashi, Blackburn coming forward, 30 yards from goal, a bit closer. Ohashi's going to have a shot, good block from Greaves. Comes out as far as Tronstadt. Tronstadt rolls it to the right, and Alabiosu. Blackburn pouring forward in their blue and white. Alabiosu with a left-footed cross to the far stick. Can't be hooked back into a dangerous area by Hedges, and it's out for a goal kick.
Not a bad ball in. He just never got on the end of it. It's not a bad ball. I was shouting for the keeper to come for, had that under control, to be fair.
Goal kick which Greaves I think is going to take rather than Palmer. 10 to go in this first half. Still no goals on BBC Radio Suffolk. It's just a slender 1-0 defeat last time we're in this part of the world. That Preston penalty kick, 4 weeks ago or so. Furlong to the halfway line, flick on header by Akpom, won by Blackburn. Akpom wins it back, comes off the thigh of Wharton. He had to get there out of McAteer and did, otherwise he and Blackburn were in all sorts of problems.
He was in McAteer.
He was, wasn't he? Out for a throw far side to Ipswich Town. It's Furlong, hurls it back to O'Shea on the halfway line, forward to Kayuste, turns away from Cantwell, back it goes to O'Shea on the halfway line. O'Shea forward to Hurst, great ball to Hurst inside the area. Hurst with a real chance, saved by Tot, and it goes to McAteer on the right hand side. McAteer gets to the edge of the area, loses his footing under pressure from Hedges, who then dives down. The referee says free kick. Lovely ball forward from O'Shea to Hurst. A real opportunity as well for George Hurst to score, but Tot saved it.
Yeah, it was just a little bit wider than what we expected, but it's a great ball. His touch just took him a little bit wide, and the goalkeeper's done well. Yeah, he's hit his chin actually.
He's unlucky, Hurst.
Yeah, he's done well to get on target, but he really has.
Yeah, didn't do much wrong at all.
No.
Hurst, credit to the goalkeeper, I guess. 2 efforts on goal from Ipswich Town in this first half. 8.5 to go.
I'd like to see more of their balls for the striker.
One in the air by O'Shea, and it goes for another throw in to Blackburn Rovers. Quickly taken. Gardner Hickman, recipient of a yellow card earlier on, goes back to Wharton. Wharton thought about the diagonal to Alabiosu. Instead he's gone square to Miller. Wharton once again with the ball, closed down by Akpom. Forward it comes from, chested down by the number 19 Furlong, and then sliced out of play under some pressure. Quickly taken thrown by Blackburn. Tronstadt up to Ohashi. Here's Marishta going back towards his fellow countryman in the area. Cleared away by Ipswich Town to Alabiosu on the right, outside the Ipswich area. Wants to take on Philogene. Beats him. Gets to the dead ball line. Little pull back from Alabiosu. Out it goes off Ohashi by the looks of things. Been challenged by O'Shea. It's a goal kick, Ipswich.
Yeah, I think it was out initially when he put the ball on. I think that's what the linesman gave. But yeah, they look a little bit of a threat, but it's nothing.
They're all right, aren't they,
yeah,
Blackburn? They play some decent stuff, but we'll see better.
I'd like to think we could be able to get their back three a little bit more than what we are doing.
Kayuste loses the ball, in slides Greaves, gets there ahead of Cantwell, gives it towards O'Shea. O'Shea carries it forward. It's never a foul on Cantwell, so he might as well get back up on his feet. O'Shea's got the ball to the far side. Furlong, faced by Hedges, plays it in behind for Hurst. Flag goes up, as I thought it would do. George mistiming his run.
You know something, I think he's unlucky. I think he's just half a yard. Just half a yard. They've all stepped up. It's unlucky Hurst there. Keep making the runs though. He'll get in.
0-0, 38 minutes gone on BBC Radio Suffolk. Every kick of every Ipswich Town game, so we'll be there for the Portsmouth home game. 3 o'clock next Saturday. McMills alongside me for that one. Connor Chaplin's Portman Road return, although he obviously can't play next week. Connor Chaplin, good to see him played pretty much the full game against Southampton. Did some nice stuff last Sunday in the derby down there. The ball's out again for another Blackburn Rovers corner kick, their 4th of this first half, and again Town make sure all 10 dark grey shirts are back inside Palmer's penalty area.
Yeah, he's been a terrific servant, chaplain to the club. He's scored a lot of goals for us in the lower leagues and stuff like that, so he's done exceptionally well. Deserves his move back, to be fair to him, if he wasn't going to get a regular game.
Cantwell in the rain now at Ewood Park on this corner kick for Blackburn off to our right. It's goalless. Good in-swinger, headed away well by Greaves, nodded away by Akpom. Tronstadt will cover the ground and pick it up for Blackburn. Down this right-hand side, it's Marishta, little dink ball to Miller. Miller goes cross-field with way too much on that. Far too heavy. That ball that he drove across the Ipswich town area, out the other side, throw into Furlong.
To be fair, Brennan, it's cold today. I need my thermals on again. It's a bit early to be thinking about thermals. I thought it was not too bad.
I was just thinking I should have had gloves on this afternoon, which just seems ridiculous given some of the weather we've had recently.
It's freezing sitting here.
It is very, very cold here this afternoon. Lesson learned, particularly for Ashton Gate a week on Tuesday. Here is Furlong with this throw-in for Ipswich, headed in field by Hurst, but only for Tronstadt. Gardner-Hickman, I don't know how often he's played though. I was thinking it was more of an attacking player, maybe somewhere in the attacking three, Gardner-Hickman, but needs must this afternoon. He's playing where Tavares was due to play, in those midfield positions behind the front four. Greaves with a good header away from Ohashi. Seems to have the beating of the Japanese in the air, does Greaves. Here is Davis. Nice sort of Cruyff turn away from Marishta and gives it back towards Jacob Greaves. 4.5 minutes, for a first half goal. O'Shea down the middle to Davis. Davis touches it on, but Alabiosu comes across to help out his centre halves, and then just happy to punt the ball out of play far side the right back.
Great run from Davis and a great ball as well. Nearly a good touch. He was unlucky.
O'Shea under the centre spot, and Greaves. He gives it to Kayuste. Kayuste goes between a couple of players. Lovely run from the Swede, then looks for Hurst, can't find him. Blackburn get it away with Cantwell. Cantwell runs into Matthew Seward. Didn't see too much wrong with that challenge from the Dutchman, and nor does Kieran McKenna. Nice play from Kayuste initially. It
was just that final pass from him at times. He gets himself in some great positions, and the final pass just let him down. He's unlucky.
I love when he runs with a ball like that as well. It's exciting to see a midfielder who's willing to do that and just glides in a really gracious way. Kayuste, but yeah, couldn't find a colleague at the end of the run, sadly. 0-0 as Tot hits the ball downfield, won by Greaves. Akpom's header was meant to be on, but it actually heads it back to Blackburn. Marishta gets the better of Kayuste. Alabiosu trying to play a ball into the Ipswich area early for Tronstadt. Comes off the running legs of Davis. Out for another throw to Blackburn outside the Ipswich area. Miller drying the ball in his blue and white shirt. Another one of his specialist long throw-ins to the Ipswich area. Final 3 minutes of the first half. Referee wants him to crack on with it. Still no goals just yet. What can Miller conjure up from this throw-in towards the near post area? Greaves wins the header before Gardner-Hickman. Cantwell with a spectacular volley, but it's way off target.
You just make me think he had a great opportunity to score earlier when he should have shot, and then he's trying to score a worldie there from about. The ball was a ridiculous effort, to be fair.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Greaves and Palmer exchange passes from this goal kick. Palmer now carries the ball up to the edge of his D, closed down by Cantwell, plays it to his right hand side, O'Shea. Now it's with Jacob Greaves looking up towards halfway, but in the end he just slips it square once again to O'Shea. O'Shea plays it further forward to Kayuste. Now Greaves has carried his run, just crossing halfway. Greaves to Philogene. Philogene uses Greaves' run as a decoy, goes infield to Hurst. Kayuste then tries to flick it forward to Greaves, who'd stayed in an advanced area, but it's Alabiosu who clears off the edge of his area. O'Shea tumbles to the ground. It's a free kick. It's gone the way of Blackburn, I think.
Yeah, I think he's give a little nudge. O'Shea.
Yeah, it seemed to be. 90 seconds of normal time to go at the end of this first half. Tricky conditions down there with the wind, and now at the moment quite heavy rain once again. Cross-eye Kieran McKenna just at the moment. Valerian Ismail is out clapping his hands, the Frenchman. Here is his goalkeeper, Tot, Hungarian, in his second season at Ewood Park. Plays the ball down the right-hand side, and it skims off the wet grass. Goal kick to Palmer.
Yeah, I think we'll have a few forks on the pitch at half-time. Yeah. Try to get rid of the puddles.
Yeah, one area in particular, but they will do. Actually played for Hungary against Portugal last week, did Top, the goalkeeper, Cristiano Ronaldo and co. Now it's O'Shea as the rain seems to get heavier. Actually, the wind's picked up as well. Matosiwa almost caught on the ball by Hedges, just gets it in the end to Furlong. Lovely turn from Matosiwa, taking a Blackburn player completely out of the game, far side. Then he goes in field to Kiyuste, clever dummy by Kiyuste, really nice from him, gives it to Greaves. This is a move of some promise. Davis down the left-hand side, bursts into the area, Leif Davis on his right-hand side, he might go it alone, he shoots, saved by Tot. What a goal that would have been. In the end, brought away, not very far. Feligene wins it back for Town. Kiyuste edge of the area, bundles his way in, comes out as far as Matosiwa. He passes it to McAteer. Good pressure this from Town at the end of the first half. McAteer to Matosiwa in the area. He blazes his effort wide. Good play though from Ipswich Town.
Yeah, really good play, especially from Davis in there. He's done well. It just never fell on his right foot for him, but he's done well. He hit the target, and Matosiwa, I think he knows he should be hitting the target for where he was. He really should have gone across it. He knows it, but this bit from Leif Davis. Oh, good effort from Town. Better football all round.
Yeah, and it all started from that lovely spin over on the far side from Matosiwa, an excellent dummy from Kiyuste, and then out to Davis. It was a really nice move all round. It would have been lovely had it been capped by the only goal of the first half, or it's looking more and more likely to be the only goal of the first half. Only 1 minute added on. The board went up as Alex was chatting. We've only got about 10 seconds of that extra 60 seconds to go. Ball's out far side, and it's going to be a throw-in to Ipswich right at the end of this goalless first half.
Yeah, I would just like to see Matosiwa.
Sorry, Alex.
I would just like to see Matosiwa try to get on the ball a little bit more from the goalkeeper. Do you know, like he did there and build it, like Morsey used to do, come out with the ball and play. He did that really, really well there, and it started off a really good move. And that's what Morsey used to do. He used to come in there, get the ball, get rid of your players, beat the high press, and then we're on the front foot. I'd like to see him do more than that. I just feel as if he's still finding his feet a little bit in this game. He's only had 5 games in this championship. Yeah, he's been playing the French league, so he'll get there. I think he'll get there slowly, you know what I mean? It just takes time, but he's getting more and more getting on the ball would be better.
Well, he made a Town's performance overall in that 46 minutes.
Better than what we've seen, Brenner. Better than what we've seen of late, I think. What I've watched, in fact, I've seen all the games, and that's the best time. The passing's been a little bit, but yeah, there's been the odd occasion we've gave the ball away and cheap things, but we're trying to do the right things. I think Blackburn, we've gave them too much space at the back. We've gave the ball away cheaply at the back from Greaves and O'Shea at times. We need to keep a hold of it and make sure that pass is correct when we're getting out. Either that, we're going to be on the back foot. But no, it's been better, definitely going forward. We look a little bit more slicker. Maybe a little bit of luck, we can maybe be one up. But yeah, not bad. Something to build on the second half.
Yeah, Feligene and Hurst probably had the best chances. What about Blackburn? What have you made of them?
They're tidy. They're tidy. Put some good balls down this right hand side. They put some really nice balls into the box. I don't think they've really threatened as sort of get this long throw, but it's not really threatened to cause us a problem. I think our main problem has been us at times. We've gave the ball away cheaply, but Blackburn, there's nothing really up front, I don't think. They've not really got...
That's what I was thinking. We don't want to tempt fate by saying that, because they could sneak a 1-0 or something here. But no, they play some nice stuff without that massive goal threat so far.
Yeah.
So let's hope that continues. And of course, Town have got serious power from the bench if required. And of course, Blackburn fans will be worried about a certain Ipswich Town number 23, Sam Smodics, getting a crucial goal as this game progresses. Whatever happens, you'll hear it live on BBC Radio Suffolk. But at the break, in a wet and windy Lancashire, it is 0-0 between Blackburn Rovers and Ipswich. Town.
Middlesbrough 2, West Brom 1 in the Championship last night. Today, 3 results so far. Birmingham City with a late winner against Swansea, 1-0. Leicester 0, Coventry 0. Stoke beaten 1-0 at QPR. And the other 3 o'clock kickoffs, half-time at Pride Park. Preston lead Derby by an Alfie Devine goal to 0. It's Hull 1, Southampton 0. Kyle Joseph on target. Jack Stacey on target for Norwich, who lead Wrexham 1-0. Portsmouth trailing 1-0 at home to Sheffield Wednesday, and Sheffield United with Chris Wilder back in the dugout are goalless with Charlton. In the Premier League, Liverpool 2, Everton 1, the full-time score from the Merseyside derby, which kicked off at lunchtime. Brighton are 2-1 ahead at home to Tottenham. It's half-time at Turf Moor. Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1. West Ham 0, Crystal Palace 1. Jean-Philippe Mateta for Palace. And still playing in the first half at Molineux, but Leeds have turned things around. They trailed early doors to Wolves 1-0. They're now 3-1 up in that one. Later today in the Premier League, Manchester United v Chelsea kicks off at 5:30. It's Fulham v Brentford at 8. We'll catch up with our non-league reporters Stephen Foster and Nick Garnham in just a moment, watching all county clashes today in the FA Vars.
Wayne Bavin at breakfast.
It's Pudsey! He's got an envelope in his hand.
Pudsey challenges you.
Me and you are doing a challenge for children in need. 25 miles between us, 3-legged. Shall we accept the challenge?
We've got to accept the challenge.
Game on, we accept. We accept, Puds.
Yeah.
I was told by an aunt of mine, I wondered why she had conkers dotted round her room on the windowsills. The old wives' thing is they keep the spiders away.
Well, that's a good tip. I've not heard that one before. Conkers.
Wayne Bavin at breakfast. Weekdays from 6. Just ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Suffolk.
You are with Matchday on BBC Radio Suffolk. Blackburn Rovers 0, Ipswich Town 0 in our main feature this afternoon. Elsewhere in the Championship's 3 o'clock kickoffs, Preston ahead 1-0 at Derby. Hull leading Southampton by a goal to 0. Norwich are 1-up at home to Wrexham. Portsmouth trailing 1-0 at home to Sheffield Wednesday. At Bramall Lane, it's Sheffield United 0, Charlton Athletic 0. We'll get reaction to that Merseyside derby during our half-time report. Liverpool 2, Everton 1. We'll hear from both managers if we've time. Just away from football, at the World Athletics Championships today in Tokyo, a shared bronze for Great Britain's Katarina Johnson-Thompson in the heptathlon. Anna Hall took gold for the USA, with Ireland's Kate O'Connor third. Max Bergin was 6th in the men's 800 metres final. In tennis, defeat for Great Britain today to the USA in the semi-finals of the Billie Jean King Cup. Both Sunny Cartel and Katie Bolter lost their singles rubbers in China, so the USA will face Italy in tomorrow's final. Let's go to Framlingham Town, the home side, involved in an all-county clash today in the FA Vars second round of qualifying. They're playing Lakenheath, and Stephen Foster is watching that one for us.
And there was a late second goal in the first half here, and it went to the home side. Just on the stroke of half-time, Josh Tyso slotted the ball home from the edge of the box to put his team back on terms. They went 1-0 down against Lakenheath this afternoon in this FA Vars encounter after 28 minutes when the Lakenheath number 4, Ryan Yallop, tried his luck from 30 yards out. He hit it beautifully, and it went straight into the back of the net with the goalkeeper powerless to stop that one. Earlier on, there had been a good chance for Lakenheath's number 11, Lewis Cowie. He was clean through, but there was a great save from the home keeper, Potter. The best chance of the match had fallen earlier to Framlingham's number 9, Danny Smith, who poked the ball the wrong side of the post. Had he have actually gone down, he may have won a penalty because he was under heavy challenge from one of the defenders. Later on, Luke Bailey tried his luck from a similar distance for Lakenheath to the one that they got their goal from, but this time Potter saw it coming and saved it quite comfortably. It was then the home side sort of turned to try and get on terms, because up to that point, I think the visitors had looked good value for their one-goal lead. Framlingham's at number 9, Danny Smith, always looking dangerous, turned the defence, but I'm afraid his weak end product was easily saved by the goalkeeper. But better was to come, of course, on the stroke of half-time, courtesy of Josh Tyso. So an entertaining game. I have to say I'm impressed with the home side in particular, because the away team, Lakenheath, look far more physical and experienced. In fact, they've got former Town midfielder Carlos Edwards in their lineup, and he is dictating much of the play. But Bramlingham are making a very good fist of this, and it's a difficult one to call for the second half. The half-time score is 1-1.
Thank you, Foz. In the Southern Premier League Central Division this afternoon, AFC Sudbury are 1-1 with Stratford Town. Liam Pearce on target for the Yellows. Bury Town and Alvechurch goalless at half-time. Leiston are 1-1 with the leaders Harborough Town. Ryan Jarvis with Leiston's opener. Dan Morphew on target for Needham Market. They lead Stamford by 1-0. There's FA Trophy matches of note today as well. Felixstowe Walter United are trailing 1-0 at Grays Athletic. Lowestoft are 2-0 down at Waltham Abbey. Mildenhall Town trailing 1-0 on the road at Stanway Rovers. Let's get another report from one of today's FA Vars matches. It's another all-county clash. Nick Garnham watching Halesworth Town at home to Ipswich Wanderers.
It's Halesworth Town 2, Ipswich Wanderers 0, and 2 goals from centre forward Toby Payne have put Halesworth Town in control of this tie at half-time and in sight of an FA Vars upset. Halesworth deserved their lead and are far from being overawed, bearing in mind that Wanderers were playing 3 leagues above them last season. It was the home team who went ahead in the 12th minute when hesitation between defender and keeper in the Wanderers' defence allowed Payne to nip in and roll the ball into an unguarded net from Sean Whiteman's long pass over the top. Wanderers winger Jose Santa de la Paz created but then wasted an opportunity after 26 minutes, cutting in from the right and beating 2 defenders as he did so, but instead of pulling the ball back, he tried to squeeze a shot in at the near post and struck the side netting instead. Although the trickery of Santa de la Paz and the pace of centre-forward Kai Fletcher were keeping the Halesworth back 4 on the toes, there was a home team who doubled their advantage in the 40th minute. The ball was worked across the pitch to Alex Husband on the left, and he cut inside and struck a curling right foot effort that keeper Ryan Lees tipped onto the underside of the crossbar, but it was Payne who reacted quickest to nod the loose ball into an empty net. Half-time at Dairy Hill, Halesworth Town 2, Ipswich Wanderers 0.
Thank you, Nick. Couple from the Isthmian North today. Newmarket Town 1-0 up at Galston. Brantham Athletic are goalless on the road at Downham Town. Goalless in our main feature. Full second half commentary of Blackburn Rovers 0 Ipswich Town 0 at present on the way on BBC Radio Suffolk. Have this text from Andy and Edwardson. Hi, Andy. So second half introductions from the bench could well be the key for Town to go on and take the 3 points. It'll give Blackburn something more to think about as Town have the best subs bench in the league. We can win this, no doubt. 81333 if you want to drop us your thoughts off the back of that first half. 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp. Start your messages with SFK. Before we go back to Ewood Park, let's get reaction from one of today's Premier League games. The lunchtime kickoff at Anfield finished Liverpool 2, Everton 1. Ryan Gravenberch and Hugo Ekitike in the first half for the home side. Idrissa Gueye scored for Everton in the second half to set up a bit of a nervy finish for Liverpool supporters and their manager Arne Slot, who spoke with Steve Wilson at full time.
Arne, congratulations. The run keeps going. You'd be very satisfied.
Yeah, very. Taking everything into account, that we had to play our third game in 7 days and playing Wednesday evening, having the early kickoff. I don't care at all about an early kickoff, but I do care if I play it Wednesday evening quite late. Then you have to manage this throughout the whole week. That's what we tried to do. And only the players that are a bit more used to this schedule program that did this last season, like Ryan, like Dom, like Virgil, Ibu and Mo, played 90 today, and all the other ones we've tried to manage throughout the week. So taking that all into account and then playing the derby and winning it with a great first half performance is good.
2 really good goals, very, very high quality.
Yeah, and very similar. And this is what you get when we are fresh. But unfortunately, we got a bit tired the second half for obvious reasons. But the mentality kept us completely in the game, because I don't think we conceded any chance after their 2-1. Actually, we were closer to scoring the third one than they were for the 2-2. But it's always a risk with their long throw-ins and their free kicks. You never know what can happen. But we've showed great mentality and we've showed great quality when we were fresh as we were in the first half.
And it's a good experience for those who haven't been at the club for very long. Just to get a little sample of it, maybe, like you bring on Wirtz late on, you bring on Alexander Isak late on, and they can get a taste of it and benefit from that.
Yes, true, but these are not two players that just started football and haven't experienced anything at all in their lives. Alex, we've signed from Newcastle, and they play big games over there. Last time we've played there, I was very impressed by their fans. And Flo is a Dutch, not a Dutch. We would love him to be a Dutch,
If only.
a German international. So he's used to playing big games as well. But it's good for them that they've been involved, and both of them stayed fit as all the others, and another win, and that's what matters most at the moment.
On a slot with Steve Wilson after Liverpool 2, Everton 1 this lunchtime. We're back at Ewood Park next for a full second half commentary of Ipswich Town at Blackburn Rovers.
And defending the end off to our right. Into their box it comes. It bounces over the top of Palmer. Oh, and he had to take evasive action at the very last second. That would have been the most embarrassing of goals conceded by Town. But Palmer's tipped it over the top for a corner. McAteer, it's got Furlong on the overlap. McAteer looks up, puts a low ball into the box. Philogene with a shot straight at the goalkeeper. Lovely break from Ipswich Town in the first sight of goal. And it was last week's hat-trick hero who played it in the end straight at Tot. Oh, Paul from O'Shea. Marishta takes it away from Kayuste. Marishta with a chance for Blackburn. Shoots saved by Palmer and then gathers at the feet of Cantwell. That was sloppy from Town at the back, giving away a real chance to Rovers there. On the right-hand side, Blackburn have it with Marishta, recent signing, pulls the ball back, edge of the area, controlled and hit by Gardner Hickman, goes up in the air off of the defender. Akpom back helping out, thankfully he did. Given away by Wharton, seized upon by McAteer. What can Ipswich Town do now? McAteer plays it in early, looking for Hurst. Wharton, though, guides it back to his goalkeeper Tot, who touches it out to Miller at left back. He plays it off McAteer. McAteer's going to try and get after that one, but it just had enough steam to go out behind for goal kick. Great ball to Hurst inside the area. Hurst with a real chance saved by Tot, and it goes to McAteer on the right-hand side. McAteer gets to the edge of the area, loses his footing under pressure from Hedges, who then dives down. The referee says free kick. Lovely ball forward from O'Shea to Hurst. A real opportunity as well for George Hurst to score, but Tot saved it. Davis down the left-hand side, bursts into the area. Leif Davis on his right-hand side. He might go it alone. He shoots, saved by Tot. What a goal that would have been. In the end, brought away, not very far. Philogene wins it back for Town. Kayuste edge of the area, bundles his way in, comes out as far as Matusiwa. He passes it to McAteer. Good pressure this from Town at the end of the first half. McAteer to Matusiwa in the area. He blazes his effort wide. Good play there from Ipswich Town.
When you're sure you know the answer. When it's on the tip of your tongue. When you beat the buzzer and the contestant.
Get in the bag.
How did you know that?
Naturally brilliant, I guess.
Yeah, modest too.
Nothing brings us together like great TV. And a TV licence covers you to watch all TV channels so you can play along with all your favourite quiz shows. It also funds everything you love from the BBC, including iPlayer and live radio. Like this. BBC Radio Suffolk.
Your thoughts after our full match commentary today. Welcome during the final hour of our matchday programme from 5 through to 6. It's 0800 141 2121 to speak to Alex Matthew at Ewood Park. Also during our final hour, we should have reaction to a few of this weekend's championship matches. Rob Edwards, the Borough boss, after their 2-1 win over West Brom last night. Mark Robbins after defeat for Stoke today. Chris Davis after a late winner for Birmingham City. We'll round up today's non-league action of note as well. But before any of that, let's go back to Ewood Park for the second half now with Ipswich Town goalless away at Blackburn Rovers.
Same 22 players that started this game as well. No change at half-time. There's one made just before the start of this game. Gardner Hickman was a late replacement for Tavares, who pulled up in the warm-up for Blackburn. But Town, as they were at the start last Friday, Palmer in goal off to our left. The back four, Furlong, O'Shea the captain, Greaves and Davis. Then you've got Matusiwa and Kayuste. And that's McAteer, Akpom and Philogene. Hurst on a yellow card up top. On the bench, Walton, Azon, Kipre, Smodix, Taylor, Clark, Young, Eggerly and Nunez. We'll see a fair few of those in the second half. Blackburn have Tot in the goal off to our right. Then his back four is Alabiosu, Miller, Wharton and Ribeiro. Ribeiro's on a caution. Sorry, he isn't. The midfielder Tronstadt alongside Gardner Hickman. It was Gardner Hickman that was given that caution in the first half. Then it's Marishta, Cantwell the captain, and Hedges and Ahashi is up top. Finally, the second half is underway. There was a couple of false alarms while you heard the whistle going in the background. On the Blackburn bench, Pears, McLaughlin, Pickering, Montgomery, Deneva, Cargabo, Gay and Goodjohnson. Here come Blackburn early in the second half. Might drop to Cantwell, edge of the area. Smuggled away by Ipswich Town up to Hurst, still tipping it down. Hurst tries to find Philogene. In dives a player, Tronstadt. He's tidy in the first half. Tronstadt heavily involved for Blackburn. See why they like him. Here is Palmer as streams of people still head back towards their seats. Palmer in the D on the edge of the box off to our left, where Town's two best efforts were through Philogene and Hurst in the first half. Matusiwa drops a shoulder, gets away from Ohashi, gives it to Kiyuste. Town obviously have so much strength in depth on the bench, could make a big impact in this second half. Eggerly, Nunez, Smodics, the likes of them, Clark, Azon. Exciting times. Forward comes Greaves, gives it to the left-hand side, and Philogene. Town, of course, ideally would like to be ahead when the cavalry arrive, which they obviously will, whatever the scoreline. Philogene being held up, literally. Free kick taken by Philogene. Finds O'Shea. Town have it over on the far left with Kiyuste. He's given it to Davis. Davis tries to get it back to the galloping Swede. It's come off the defender over in that far right corner. It's actually Marishta back helping out. Davis throws the ball back to Greaves. Rain's heavier than it's been since the game started. In comes Davis's cross. Good one, volleyed away though by Miller, who'll be happy enough with his work on his full debut for Rovers. The replacement ball's quickly thrown in by Greaves as the wind picks up now as well. Forward the ball comes to Philogene. Back towards O'Shea. We'll hear from Town Kieran McKenna post-match, hopefully a player as well. Philogene jinks away, gives it to Kiyuste, back to Philogene, held up by Tronstadt. Philogene's done well to find O'Shea. O'Shea to Akpom, now to the right-hand side. McAteer down below us, the number 20, comes in field. Incidentally, Town playing with their third kit on this afternoon. Dark grey with light blue. Here is Ohashi. Challenged well by McAteer. In goes Marishta. Marishta picks up the pieces, blocked off by Kiyuste. Conditions not doing the players any favours, it has to be said.
Yeah, it's difficult conditions
Very
for all
tricky.
players out there.
Not getting any easier at all. The rain continues to fall. Here is Gardner Hickman. Gives it to Ribeiro. The spell at Nottingham Forest a few years ago. Yuri Ribeiro. What a spell at Benfica. Now managed by Jose Mourinho in the last 48 hours or so. O'Shea with a header forward, cleared forward by Gardner Hickman. Ohashi's on the chase, brought down by Greaves. Ooh, this could be interesting. This could be very interesting. The home fans want Greaves sent off. The referee's gone to his back pocket and Greaves is off. Straight red card for Jacob Greaves, who can't complain. Towner down to 10 men in the rain at Ewood Park.
Yeah, and it's, you know what, they shouldn't be putting themselves in that predicament. They really should. 1v1 at going back at the defender. They're getting pulled out all over the positions at the back. They really are. There's no complaints. It's a straight red. He's pulled them down.
He has moments
Straight
like that,
goal.
Greaves. He's had one or two of those that he's obviously got away with. It's his first red card, but interesting to see what Kieran McKenna elects to do. Whether Kipre is straight on for whoever, McAteer potentially, or what his thinking's going to be. But for the moment, he's gone out of view, Kieran McKenna. And Blackburn are lining up this free kick. From a long, long way out, it would take something special. Although in these skiddy conditions, it's not beyond the realms that Palmer could be trouble. But it's a good 35 yards from goal in a very central area. And Town now just with those 9 outfield players trying to sort themselves out. This is going to be a right test for them in the rain now.
He'll miss a couple of games as well, won't he, straight away, won't he? Is it automatic?
It'll just be the one.
Oh, is it just one?
Just be, yeah, he won't play against Portsmouth next week. So
Kipre,
probably a league debut for Kipre next week, one would have thought. Cantwell on this free kick for Blackburn makes an almighty mess of it.
That was shocking.
I do wonder if he's a good player, he's got talent, but I can't help but wonder if he thinks he's better than he actually is at times.
I mean, wasn't even going to trouble the goalkeeper that, because there was no power in it either. That was a poor free kick.
You just think play the conditions as well. You just drive it low would be the idea in my head. So
I think he will bring Kipre on, wouldn't he? I would have thought.
For the moment, just trying to work out who's alongside O'Shea. Furlong's gone in there, so it's Furlong and O'Shea, the two centre-halves. McAteer's gone back to right-back, so that makes sense. That seems fair enough at the moment. Kieran with his hood up down below us on his black jacket. Furlong gives it to Matasiwa. Furlong once again into Kayusta. Kayusta trying to get Hurst away. Matasiwa out to the left-hand side, and Philogene. Good play this from Ipswich Town. Philogene, edge of the area, goes down. Good challenge by Alabiosu. Out to the right-hand side. This game's got a nice edge at the moment. Matasiwa almost caught by Alabiosu. Excellent play from the Dutchman. Lovely change of direction to Philogene. Philogene on that left-hand side. In front of him, gives it to Davis into the area. Davis pulls the ball back, volleyed away by Rovers to Tronstadt. Now up to the halfway line from Alabiosu. O'Shea over the top of Ohashi, who was at the heart of that red card. Kipre is coming on. The big man getting a pat on the back from Kieran McKenna.
That was better from Matasuwa. Is that how you say it? Matasiwa. All right, Matasiwa.
Good attempt. Let's see who Kipre is going to replace. On this left-hand side, Hedges has it on halfway. Still 0-0, but Town now play the vast majority. 40 minutes pretty much of this second half, a man down. Infield, Blackburn have it with Tronstadt. Actually, Darnell Furlong was sent off against Blackburn on the opening day of the season, so he's used to playing against 10 men when his teams have been used to be playing against 10 men when he's been here this year. He's now at centre half for the moment anyway, until Kipre's introduction comes. Played for Town at Bromley, of course, in the Cup. Garden Hickman to the left-hand side. Hedges outside the Ipswich area, into the box to Cantwell. Cantwell dinks it in towards the 6-yard area, headed on by Kayusta. Alabiosu went for the volleyed attempt, closed down by Philogene. Alabiosu still has the ball, gives it back to Tronstadt, bounces it off Hedges. Tronstadt has it once more. No ball into the Ipswich area, chested on by Hedges. All the way back to Palmer.
Who do you think he'll take off? Brennan Philogene, maybe?
I wonder what his thinking is, don't you? Whether he's
put Furlong out there. Sorry, Davis.
Toss of a coin, really, what he's thinking is at the moment. Who's going to replace? Arguments for a few players, arguments against a few players. Long ball forward by Furlong. Hurst's gone after it. Top will see it out. Gets a shove on the back from Hurst. Referee's going to want a word with George Hurst. A little bit daft, that from Hurst. He's not going to get a second yellow, but just a bit needless and potentially dangerous as well, given the conditions.
I was just going to say that was dangerous for the goalkeeper. They could have went right over the boards there. It was a bit silly from Hurst.
Yeah, it was. That's what the referees tell them about. Here comes the change for Ipswich Town. It's Chuba Akpom. Sadly for him, is the player making way. No slight on his performance, but needs must. On will come Kipre. Warm handshake and hug from Kieran McKenna for Chuba.
He's a big lad, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Kipre is solid. He's gone into that left-sided central defensive area. Talking of Town left-sided centre-halves, what a couple of goals from Cameron Burgess at Swansea now the other night in the League Cup, particularly the second one. Terrific winner from 2-0 down against Ange Postecoglou's team. Amari Hutchinson also played in that game against Burgess. On the halfway line is Marishta, been held up by Kayusta. It's going to be a yellow card for the Swede.
They need to watch what they're doing. They can't make you lose to another man.
They do a little bit.
It's silly fouls.
Things are easy to miss time in these conditions as well. Still 0-0 live on BBC Radio Suffolk. It continues to get even more and more damp out there. Cantwell is over this free kick for Blackburn Rovers. Too far out for an attempt on goal. Played short. Cantwell now to the right side. Alabiosu. In comes his cross to the Ipswich area. Up goes Wharton. And the volley was a poor effort from Ribeiro. Town clear it to Tronstadt, the deepest lying outfield player for Blackburn. Marishta square to Cantwell. Cantwell plays against McAteer. Pills for handball. Not given. Did look like a handball. McAteer's got no support whatsoever, having to take on 4 Blackburn players. It was only a matter of time before the home team won the ball back off of him. He was splashing around there as well, McAteer. Very heavy underfoot. 10 minutes gone in the second half live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Still 0-0 at Ewood Park. Forward from Tronstadt up to Ohashi. Back it goes to Wharton. Certainly would not rule out Ipswich Town going on and winning this game though. Blackburn, who themselves had to play with 10 men against Norwich in their last game here.
I was just going to say, Brennan, I'd take a draw now.
Yeah, well, I said last night I would take a draw heading up here when the match day preview with Walk. It was one of those games. Hedges, ball to the far stick, it's gone too far, and out for a throw-in to Leif Davis and Ipswich Town. 29 years actually since Blackburn last lost their first 3 games of a league season. Desperately trying to avoid here this afternoon. That would be a blow, given that they're going to play the vast majority of the second half against 10 men of Ipswich. Just joining us, or rejoining us, Greaves sent off for a professional foul early in the second half. Town give away that throw-in very cheaply. Wharton up from centre half, plays it to the left-hand side with Ribeiro. Now it's with Hedges, infield to Cantwell, 30 yards from goal. Tronstadt goes to the right-hand side, and it's a shot off target from Blackburn.
They've had a few of them, and to be fair, all the shots have been from outside the box, haven't they?
Yeah.
35 yards.
Town, as you would expect, not in a massive hurry to get play back underway. Your thoughts are very welcome between full time and 6 o'clock. You can call 0800 141 2121. Text 81333. Start those messages SFK. All given away by Ipswich Town. That was very poor. Into the box towards Cantwell, who's gone down. What's the referee said here? It's going to be a penalty to Blackburn. The foul on Cantwell. And it's all rather unravelled for Ipswich Town in this second half. A man light, the sending off of Greaves, and now a foul on Cantwell in the box has presented Blackburn Rovers with a penalty kick.
He's just run across him. He's run across him for long. He's caught him, but I don't think there's any intent in it. I really don't. But the laws of the game, it's a penalty, isn't it? Yep. It really is. He's caught him off the ball, it's a penalty.
Cantwell, I think, is going to take the penalty kick for Blackburn.
Well, let's hope it's like his free kick.
Well, fingers crossed. He's the sort that would try a Panenka and make an almighty mess of it. Yellow card for an Ipswich Town player. Is that McAteer or O'Shea? Or there's a huddle of players around the referee, certainly giving somebody a yellow card.
Is he going to change his mind, is he?
Yeah, it's crazy. The WhatsApp number, incidentally, I broke away during that little period of action. The text 81333, start your messages SFK. WhatsApp 08000 321 333, start those SFK. Or you can email me, brenner@bbc.co.uk. I'd love to have you company on the Blue Hour on Monday night between 6 and 7. Well, I commentated on 16 penalty kicks in total last month at Bromley and in the league. It's nothing particularly new this season.
This is the only way Blackburn are going to score as well. Or both teams are going to score.
90 seconds shy of the hour mark on BBC Radio Suffolk in the wind and rain at Ewood Park. Blackburn have a penalty kick. It's Cantwell against Palmer. The former Norwich player comes forward and scores. Low into the corner of the net. It was a perfect penalty. Palmer went the right way, but it's Cantwell as he does a knee slide to the corner flag in the far left corner, who celebrates the opening goal Blackburn lead.
Good penalty, really good penalty in the corner. He's went the right way, the goalkeeper. Palmer's went the right way. Full stretch, but it's right in the corner, and it's a good penalty, it really is. But we're just giving silly things away. We're just saying earlier, we're giving away silly free kicks, silly bookings, and there again, it's a silly free kick to give away a penalty for no reason.
It's a good test this for Ipswich Town. 30 minutes to go. A man down, and now a goal down as well.
I'd definitely take a draw now, Brent.
Yes, I was just about to ask you that as well. At 16,032 the attendance, 3,984 away fans. Incredible again from the Ipswich Town, ladies and gentlemen. Here is O'Shea. Some people wonder if the game could be abandoned because of the weather. It is very heavy, that rain at the moment. Blackburn certainly wouldn't want that at the moment. They're ahead. Matusiwa sploshing around in the centre of the field. Down the line, Blackburn have it with Cantwell. Stretching, no, he can't get on it. just out 40 throw-in to Ipswich Town. Kipper is yet to really settle into this. Didn't have any time to settle in at 0-0. Well, see Jack Clark's visible down below us. He's scored in his last 2 games. He's going to be coming on, one would have thought, fairly soon for Ipswich Town. Smodix is out there, Azon as well, warming up. Here is Hurst. In goes Miller. Miller belts it long, so no back-to-back clean sheets for Ipswich Town here this afternoon. Kipre gets the ball from Palmer. He went the right way for the penalty, couldn't have been too far from it, but it was expertly put into the corner by Cantwell. That's Kiyuste. Back to Kipre. Of course, plenty of experience in the Championship, albeit he's just come in from French football in the summer. Philogene goes back to Kipre. Town have now got four former West Brom players in this back 5. Kipre finds another one of them, Furlong. Back to O'Shea. Home crowd in good voice, but it's a low crowd, 16,000, isn't it? Back to Graham for goals, 1-0 Blackburn.
Sheffield Wednesday have doubled their lead at Portsmouth. Wrexham have come from behind to lead Norwich 2-1.
Oh wow, that was a card for Matusiwa in amongst all of that as well. He obviously said too much to the referee. Tronstadt for Blackburn, who are happy to play kick ball in the middle third. Gardner-Hickman over the top now towards Cantwell. Flag has stayed down. The ball runs away off the turf back towards Palmer. Handily for Town. Matusiwa to Kiyuste. Oh, he's caught late by Tronstadt. Free kick. Referee probably wants a word with Tronstadt. No, play on. Credit to Kiyuste for getting back up to his feet quickly. The referee had been booed by the Town fans.
He rode it well. He did. He saw the challenge coming and he rode it well.
Here is Kiyuste on the centre spot. Gives it to the far side and Kipre. Tots had very little to do in the second half. Now it's with O'Shea. I wonder when those changes are coming from the Ipswich Town bench.
I think he needs to do it sooner rather than later, Brenner, just to have a go. Get Smodich on, see if he can score a goal against his old club.
Matusiwa to Furlong. Furlong's cross comes in, headed away by the first defender. O'Shea tries to recycle for Town, then Matusiwa. The ball might go the way of Leif Davis. Has gone off a Blackburn player. It's curled out behind for a corner kick to Ipswich Town as Ivan Azon is one of those about to come on. He's the first one I can spot down below us. It's going to be more than him though, I would have thought. He'll come on and replace George Hurst. Corner kick to 10-man Ipswich Town. Philogene is on it. Clark's coming on. Smodix is coming on. So at least 3 changes imminent. Philogene, what can he do from this corner? Trying to get Town level in its swings. Decent ball. Up is Kipre. Has a second bite at it. There's a free kick given for a foul in there by an Ipswich Town player. Azon's desperate to get on the field down below us. Blackburn also making a change by the looks of things. Here come the changes. Andre Gudjonsson is coming on to play through the middle for Yuki Ohashi. It's a debut as well for Andre Gudjonsson, son of Ida Gudjonsson.
He was a player, wasn't he?
Oh, what a player he was.
He was a player.
This one was at, he's had time in the academies of Barcelona and Real Madrid. Actually made a Real Madrid Champions League squad a couple of years ago, Gudjonsson. He's on for Blackburn. Here come the changes for Ipswich Town. McAteer is going off to be replaced by Smodix. Getting a warm welcome from the home crowd. Hurst is being replaced by Azon, and Clark is the other player coming on for Philogene. No further goals for Philogene this afternoon. Let's see what Sam Smodix can do back at Ewood Park. 33 goals for him in that incredible season 2 years ago. Single-handedly kept Blackburn at this level, so warmly remembered. Nice reaction from the home crowd when Smodix's name was introduced.
That's a nice reception for him. It's always nice when you come back to your old club and didn't get that reception. Shows you've done something right.
And also the way he handled himself at the start of last season. Before his move to Ipswich went through, he played and scored goals for Blackburn. There's no going on strike or anything, no silliness from a very professional, good character. Said a lot about him. He's been well remembered here, quite rightly. Played back underway. Kiyustek forward towards Clark. Clark on the ball once again on the far side, operating down that left for Ipswich Town, losing at Blackburn. Good run this from Clark, can't quite get into the area, just ran into Tronstadt in the end, who's had a very good game for Blackburn, their number 6. And it goes for a throw-in, which Kipre takes. Back it goes to O'Shea. There is Kipre once again for Blackburn. Ball down the line to Davis. Overlapping is Clark. Clark gets inside the Blackburn area, goes to the byline, and it comes low to the centre. Oh, Smodics went towards it. He just didn't make up the ground quickly enough. And the Blackburn defender, Ribeiro, did excellently to turn out behind, but Smodics almost had a tap in.
Yeah, but not only that, what about the play from Clark?
Excellent.
Great wing play from Clark, getting to the byline. It's a great ball in. Smodics half a yard in, just gets half a yard in front. It's a tap in. Oh, well played.
Don't give up on Ipswich Town, even though they're playing with 10 men. Davis on this corner kick for Ipswich. Their second of this second half. Plenty bodies forward. Left-footed, way beyond the far stick it goes. O'Shea heads it centrally, nodded away from the goal by a Blackburn defender. Blackburn still haven't cleared their lines. Now they do through Marishta, only as far as Smodics. Smodics knocks it back into the Blackburn area. Azon goes for it, headed away by the Blackburn back line. Up in the air from Cantwell, the only goal scorer so far. Matusiwa gets it away from Gudjonsson. Davis tries to roll his man, play it infield towards Smodics. Blackburn get it back through Cantwell. Cantwell goes down very easily. Free kick given though to the home team.
It's getting worse out there, the conditions with that rain, isn't it?
Definitely. Let's go back to Graham.
Getting worse for Norwich. Norwich 1, Wrexham 3 now.
Oh, wow. That's quite some turnaround.
Well, that makes me feel better.
It makes everyone feel better, I think. Let's see what happens 2 weeks tomorrow. Here is Cantwell, currently at Blackburn. Now Walton. 2 of the 5 goals they've conceded have been penalties. Blackburn fairly solid at the back. Azon can't find Clark to the halfway line. Blackburn with Gudjonsson. Good little header down to Marishta. Alabiosu's making a run down the right hand side. He gets goal side. Blackburn inside the Ipswich area. Still lots of work to be done now outside the box. Hedges gives it Alabiosu down the right. Davis timed his tackle well. Excellent defending from the left back and dinked it through a little gap to Clark. Clark is robbed by Hedges. Blackburn pull it back to Tronstadt. Good interception from Kiyuste up towards Azon. Azon on to Clark. Clark gets to the halfway line for Ipswich Town. Runs into the centre circle and gives it to Furlong. On the right is Smodics. Smodics comes in field to Matusiwa. Matusiwa tries to play it back to him. Looked like a handball off Wharton, not given. Blackburn get it away to Cantwell. Still a quarter of this game to go. Blackburn about to make another change by the looks of things. Going to be bringing on August Cargbo. And also, actually, Sean McLaughlin is a defender. Cargbo is a striker. Possibly for Marishta, perhaps he might replace. Walton to halfway. 1-0 Blackburn, live on BBC Radio Suffolk. On the left wing, Ribeiro. Now with Gardner Hickman. He was a switcher play to Alabiosu on the far side. Until the ball lands, you see a splash of water come up. Pitch very heavy out there. Town 10 points behind the leaders Middlesbrough in the table. And it's still early doors, we don't want that gap getting any bigger really. Here we are again with Gardner Hickman coming forward for Blackburn Rovers. Slowly, no need for them to hurry. Cantwell to the edge of the box and Gudjonsson, the blonde-haired striker. Hedges. Gudjonsson once again out left. Infield to Cantwell. It's 23 Andre Gudjonsson. Blackburn, nice little 1-2. Tronstadt again, plenty of possession for Rovers. Gudjonsson out to the right-hand side. Alabiosu. Infield it goes to Tronstadt. Back to Alabiosu, right on the right-hand corner of the Ipswich Town penalty area. Blackburn toying with Ipswich Town at the moment, putting it through the legs of the referee. Ribeiro knocks the ball into the box. Johnson's header loops over the bar. Patient play that from Blackburn Rovers.
Yeah, I was just watching Johnson there and his movement and stuff and his hold-up play. He looks a bit of a player, to be fair to him.
He's looked useful, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So far. Yeah, Morishita is coming off to be replaced. McLaughlin and Cargbo are coming on for Morishita and Ribeiro. So Cargbo will go into an offensive area where Morishita's been playing. It'll be interesting to see whether McLaughlin, there's a straight switch for Ribeiro at left back, or whether Blackburn are going to a back three, because McLaughlin is ordinarily a centre half.
I think it's strange they're making so many subs when they're winning 1-0. And
it's
do you know what I mean?
Three.
Yeah.
It's a back three with Hedges and Alabiosu, the wing backs. Very difficult for Azon, who's now on a run. Azon's got in behind. Flag has stayed down, trying to get inside the area. Didn't get it under control. Wharton whips it away from him and out far side. Yeah, it's definitely a back three for Blackburn. Tam take the throw in quickly. 26 minutes gone in the second half. Live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Kayuste, reverse pass to Davis. Offside, flags up against him.
I was going to say, I was just waiting to see that. He must be off.
Yeah, looked it, didn't he?
Better though.
Yep, atrocious conditions though for this game down there. We'll hear from Kieran McKenna and a Town player before we're off out at 6 o'clock with this match day programme. Tall order now for Ipswich Town to fully build on last Friday. Of course, they've still got the likes of Eggerly and Nunez available on the bench. No sign of a fourth or fifth change just yet though down below us. Kipre wins the header. Nodded down by Hedges, belted forward by Furlong. Azon's going after it. The ball goes back towards Tott. And he goes underarm to McLaughlin. One of the few clean players out there. McLaughlin having just come on. Cantwell plays it back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin's attempt to pass the poor one, cut out well. Smoddick's in field to Kayuste. Kayuste's challenged by Tronstadt. Goes down, free kick won by Ipswich.
We will get another chance, Brenner. We've just got to take it. It's whether we take it. Do you know what I mean? We will get another chance. I'm convinced of that.
Kayuste for Ipswich Town towards Clark. Clark back to Matthew Siwa. Ball into the box actually from Kipre. Went straight at Tott. Tott with a poor kick. Terrible from him. Trying to find Cargbo. Nowhere near him though. Another throw to Ipswich. O'Shea takes it, and it's with Palmer. Kipre diagonally out to the far side. Excellent ball from Kipre to Davis. Beautifully collected by the left back, edge of the Blackburn area. Still Leif Davis gets into the area, goes down. Alex wants a penalty. The referee's in a good position and says no. I think you got as far as pit there, Alex, didn't you? Free kick now on the far side for a challenge on a Blackburn player, which will have angered the Ipswich Town fans a little bit more.
Did he go down too easy, do you think?
I didn't think it was a penalty.
You didn't think it was?
I think so. The ball jammed between their feet. Wasn't there much of a reaction on the field, and then Kipre has fouled a Blackburn player.
It was a good move though, good ball from Kipre and a great touch from Davis.
Yeah, it was nice football. Tott slams the ball forward, headed away by Davis. Out of play far side. Kieran McKenna shows his frustration with bending down in front of us. 16 minutes to go at Ewood Park. Still tipping it down, and still 10-man Ipswich Town losing 1-0. Grieve sent off before the penalty converted by Cantwell. Two separate passages of play, I should clarify. Blackburn on the left wing. Wow, there's so much surface water out there. Every step a player takes now, and then the ball bounces and there's more water splashes up. Ball through to Johnson. Oh, poor chance from Kipre. He's off. Oh, Kipre, the referee wants a word with him. Hopefully Alex is wrong. Yeah, it's just going to be a yellow, I think, for him.
Sorry, I thought it was Matsui. Sorry.
Matsusiwa.
Matsusiwa, sorry. I thought it was Matsusiwa.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. Sorry, that's what I'm saying. He's off. But
he would have been, wouldn't he?
It was Kipre. Sorry. Getting carried away there.
Yeah, a red for Kipre would have been all sorts of trouble next week for Ipswich Town in terms of centre-halves available. Yellow card for Kipre, joining Matsusiwa, Kayuste, and as was Hurst in the book. Quick goal news from Graham?
Yeah, another goal for Hull. Hull 3, Southampton 0.
Wow, that's a really good result for them. Really good result for Wrexham, and at the moment, sadly, a good result for Blackburn as well here this afternoon. Tomorrow, Bristol City play Oxford, then it's Millwall, Watford, rounding off the Championship weekend on Monday. Cantwell with this free kick for Blackburn, and it comes high to the Ipswich area. Good ball, nodded down by McLaughlin, might get a second bite at it. Town clear away. Good free kick that from Blackburn. Cantwell's got the ball again, but he's slipped. Clark brings it away. Ipswich Town trying to capitalise, but leaves the ball behind. That was just because of the heavy conditions. Clark's gone back and got it, then plays it to the left-hand side. Brilliant from Clark. Davis has got him behind. Ball into the box. There's a good one, goes right through the area. And Smoddock's brought down a Blackburn man in the box. He has, holding his right ankle. That's a good break from Town. They were a real threat. Need to get Clark on the ball as much as possible, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I must admit, I don't think I've seen conditions like this in the modern day game for a long time, Brenner.
We had it at Oxford a few years ago, but I know what you mean. It's rarely, very rare. Yeah, we had similar, I remember, at the Kassam Stadium. And I think the game was paused for 10-20 minutes or so. We did carry on. Free kick to Blackburn for the foul by Smoddock. Yeah, still see Town getting something. But as I say, get Clark on the ball could be the key to this.
Oh, they think they would call it off?
Doesn't seem to be, not just at the moment. Wishful thinking perhaps on your part. Tot downfield for Blackburn. The referees want a word with the fourth official about something or other here. It's his watch or something again, isn't it? It's more technology problems. Yeah. Kieran McKenna speaking to the referee. He's making the most of the opportunity. Kind of having a pop at the referee. So they're having a go at him. The Blackburn fans having a go at him. He has sent an Ipswich Town player off and awarded your team a penalty, so he's done all right by Blackburn, really. Sam Smoddock's getting spoken to by Mark Hudson. Break and play whilst we wait for Tot to take this corner kick. Still the big scoreboard, as well as telling us the 77.5 minutes played, tells us it's Rovers 1, Ipswich Town 0. Still the referee's sorting out his watch.
Be the water getting into it, I would have thought, Brenner.
Possibly. Those numbers again. You're very welcome to get in touch with us on BBC Radio Suffolk match day before 6 o'clock. You can have a chat to Graham and Alex on 0800 141 2121. You can text 81333, start those messages SFK. WhatsApp 08000 321 333 again. Start those SFK. Or if you want to get in touch with me ahead of Monday night's Blue Hour, every Monday night between 6 and 7 on BBC Radio Suffolk and BBC Sounds. Email is a good way to get in touch. Brenner at bbc.co.uk, BRENNER at bbc.co.uk, as well as reaction to this game. We'll also have reaction to whatever goes on tomorrow afternoon between Charlton and Ipswich Town women at the Valley. It'd be lovely to think that Joe Sheehan side can get their first point or points of the WSL2 season. Alabiosu forward to Cagbo. Really difficult down there in the water at the moment. The ball just won't run through. You just wonder about a mistake. Or here is Matthew Sewell waiting for the ball to arrive. Kieran McKenna complaining a lot about the conditions to the fourth official. He's in his ear. The ball won't roll. There again, Kieran saying to the fourth official quite clearly the ball is not rolling, and it isn't. Oh, Kipper's got caught out. This could be interesting here. Kieran, I think, is saying this can't. We've got to have a serious talk about this. I think the players are coming off. The referee at the moment is pressing pause on this game. Blackburn players come straight across to the fourth official on this near side. Kieran had a point, and he's now speaking actually to Gardner Hickman. He had to stop the game. It was just unplayable, this surface.
Well, I can remember when we played, they put the ball out to test it, Brennan, and you roll it, and if it doesn't do the full momentum, the game gets called off. Well, or they get the people on the forks to see if they can get it working again. But at this moment in time, it could be a good result for Ipswich Town.
Well, he's gone off down the tunnel. Obviously, Blackburn fans are in a rage at the moment, very unhappy with this, but the players have had to come off, and I mean, that's how they do pitch inspections. They do roll the ball if it doesn't do the full circumference. last player to come off is Leif Davis, because he was across on the far side. So for the moment anyway, Graham, this game is on hold. 10 minutes of regular time to go. I would imagine the stewards will be out with their forks, but it had to happen. The ball just wasn't rolling. So 10 minutes to go. This could be interesting. Town 1-0 behind to Blackburn, and they have had Jacob Greaves sent off. It's all been happening in the last 35 minutes.
Yeah, it hasn't half, has it?
We'll be back with Alex Matthew and Brenna Woolley shortly then, when we get some further updates from Ewood Park. As you heard, the players have gone down the tunnel. Conditions appalling for football at the moment at Ewood Park, with Ipswich Town trailing due to that Todd Cantwell penalty on 59 minutes. Jacob Greaves sent off as well for Town. Elsewhere in the Championship, Birmingham City 1, Swansea 0. Result from one of 3 lunchtime kickoffs today. Lyndon Dykes with the only goal of the game in the 94th minute. Leicester 0, Coventry 0 at the King Power Stadium. Is also a full-time score, and QPR beat Stoke by a Harvey Vale goal to 0 at Loftus Road. Let's bring you the latest state of play from the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the second tier today. In addition to Blackburn Rovers 1, Ipswich Town 0, Preston are still ahead away at Derby County. Alfie Devine with the only goal of the game on 29 minutes. I mentioned Hull 3 up at home to Southampton today. That'll be a great result for Hull. Carl Joseph opening the scoring on 22 minutes. John Lundstrom on 59. Ollie McBurney on 70. So Hull in complete control there. And Wrexham have turned things around at Carrow Road. Norwich 1, Wrexham 3. The latest score as we enter the final 10 minutes of normal time. Jack Stacey put Norwich ahead on 39 minutes. Josh Windass levelling for Wrexham on 47. Ryan Longman on 54. Josh Windass on 59. So 3 goals in 12 minutes for Wrexham in that one. Norwich 1, Wrexham 3, the latest score. Portsmouth 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Barry Bannon on 12 minutes for Wednesday. George Brown doubling the lead on 50. Chris Wilder is back in the dugout for Sheffield United today. They're into the final 10 minutes at Bramall Lane, and it's Sheffield United 0, Charlton Athletic 0. Let me run you through today in the Premier League so far. Liverpool 2, Everton 1 in the Merseyside derby. That's a full-time score from the lunchtime kickoff. We heard from Arne Slot during our half-time report. We'll hear from David Moyes if we've time before 6 o'clock. His side got one back in that game to set up a nervy finish for the home side, but Liverpool held on and have now won 5 out of 5 in the Premier League this season. Brighton 2-1 up at home to Tottenham at the Amex as we enter the final 5 minutes of normal time. At Turf Moor, Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1. It's West Ham 1, Crystal Palace 2 at the London Stadium. Jean-Philippe Mateta opening the scoring for Palace on 37 minutes. Jared Bowen levelling for the Hammers on 49. Tyrick Mitchell making it 2-1 to Palace on 68. And Leeds are still in control at Molineux. They trailed 1-0 to Wolves inside the opening 10 minutes. Dominic Calvert-Lewin levelled the scores on 31. Anton Stack made it 2-1 Leeds on 39. And just before half-time, they got a third. And it's still Wolves 1, Leeds 3. Manchester United versus Chelsea kicks off at 5:30 this evening, and at Craven Cottage at 8 o'clock tonight, Fulham versus Brentford. Just checking in on the rugby today, of course, it's the second semi-final at the Women's World Cup, and England just about on top against France at Ashton Gate in Bristol. England 7, France 5, the latest score. Into the second half in that one, the winner will face Canada in the World Cup final after Canada shocked the cup holders New Zealand yesterday. Let's just check in on Brenna Woolley and Alex Matthew at Ewood Park. We had an announcement, guys, a couple of minutes ago. The game not abandoned yet, according to the PA system. But what are conditions looking like at the moment, Brenna? Any better?
No, they're not, Graham. They're still every bit as bad. They haven't had any stewards out there with pitchforks, and it is continuing to absolutely tip it down. It did get to a point, and incidentally, the clock has been stopped off to my right-hand side on 79 minutes and 39 seconds. So pretty much 10 more minutes to play, plus added on time in this game. But you're quite right, yeah, that's what they said on the loudspeaker here, for people to stay in their seats. But nothing has changed really in terms of the conditions. And just before the game was put on pause, Kieran McKenna was really in the ear of the fourth official. He was quite right the game just couldn't carry on like that. The ball was not rolling. It was potentially dangerous for players as well, but it just wasn't any kind of a spectacle. So the referee saw sense and took the two sets of players down the tunnel. Obviously the Blackburn players a bit more agitated by that decision than their Ipswich Town counterparts. Mark Ashton's just had a little wander down now to pitch side down below us, but literally no one's on the field of play. But the rain continues to fall. It's heavy and it doesn't look like it's going to be ending anytime soon. I mean, it was forecast in this part of the world pretty much from lunchtime onwards, so no change at the moment, and no sign of any football resuming anytime soon.
It's a long time since we've had this, haven't we? I'm thinking back to, is it February 2012 at Portman Road, Town v Middlesbrough? Haven't gone on for quite as long as this one. I mean, this one's well into the closing stages now, at 37 minutes on that particular day, but ice, if you remember, meaning that one was brought to an early halt.
Yeah, I do remember that game, as well, over on the far side of Portman Road. Right on cue, finally, one chap has come out with a couple of pitchforks. So that's why hearing kind of the olays and what have you in the background. But the Oxford one, I think we had two incidents at Oxford, one with these kind of conditions, and one, because I remember Harry Clark making his debut, and the other, I hardly saw Harry, he was on the far side of the field in a fog-hit game at Oxford a few years ago. But in terms of rain, I can't remember anything like this, but it's just got gradually worse. There was one little area kind of northwest of the centre circuit of like throughout the game was really splodgy and was really wet, but everywhere has been recently, and it wasn't just when the ball was landing laterally, it was when players were making steps, you could see water splashing up, but literally the ball wouldn't even do a half a roll. It was just not moving at all when the referee quite rightly eventually conceded that this one had to be paused.
The game itself, just before I let you go again briefly, if it does resume, Town have got a bit of a mountain to climb. Obviously, Jacob Greaves sent off, Todd Cantwell converting the penalty shortly afterwards. It's been a tough one for Town today.
Yeah, it has been really difficult, and you can talk about the conditions, but that's there for both sides. They just got caught out. Greaves let his man go to an extent, and then it was a fairly straightforward decision from a very experienced referee, and Greaves nor any of his teammates really had any complaints about that. It'll be interesting. I didn't see an action replay of the penalty, but it'll be interesting to see what Kieran McKenna says afterwards about that one, and that kind of rubbed salt in the wound, because he did do well to put it away, Cantwell. And in terms of Ipswich Town as an attacking force in the second half, a couple of times since Clark's come on, and Davis has got a couple of good balls through the area, they've looked lively again down the left, but beyond that, Tot has had a fairly comfortable afternoon of it so far, so it has been very, very difficult for Ipswich Town. And now just have a little look around before I head back to 7 stewards out there at the moment who really, I mean, they're trying their best with their pitchforks, but at the moment fighting a losing battle. I don't know really what kind of difference this is going to make whilst this rain continues to fall. It's in a right old state, isn't it, Alex Matthew alongside me, this one?
Yes, I was just saying in the commentary, I've never seen it so bad in modern day football as today. I mean, if you want me to be honest, I'm hoping they call it off, because for Ipswich Town to go back and come back here and have another goal would be great for Town, but obviously a lot of expense involved in that as well. But the conditions aren't going to get any better, Brennan, and I'll be surprised. I really will be surprised if they come out and play it. I really will, because it's dangerous. It really is.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So no, still Ipswich Town, if we do see some more football, will be resuming with Jacob Greaves off the field and down behind Blackburn Rovers by 1-0.
OK, another goal at the Amex. Brighton 2, Tottenham 2. So Thomas Frank's side have come from 2-0 down to level in that one. A Van Hecker own goal in the 82nd minute. So a chance perhaps for Tottenham to win that one. Elsewhere, still Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Palace still ahead 2-1 at West Ham. Leeds still 3-1 up away at Wolves. And in the Championship, no further goals since we last checked in. So Preston 1 up at Derby. Hull 3, Southampton 0. Wrexham still 3-1 up at Carrow Road against Norwich. Portsmouth 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Stoppage time now being played at Bramall Lane. Chris Wilder back in the dugout for Sheffield United. Looks like he's going to get a point in his first game back at Sheffield United 0, Charlton Athletic 0. When we have an update from Brenna and Alex at Ewood Park, we will bring that to you. But I mentioned we'd heard from Arne Slot earlier after Liverpool's 2-1 win over Everton in the Merseyside derby. First half goals for Liverpool from Ryan Gravenberch and Hugo Ekitike. Idrissa Gueye got one back for Everton in the 58th minute, and David Moyes could be encouraged what he saw from his side in the second half. They made a real go of it. Let's hear from him. He spoke to Steve Wilson at full time.
David, I thought from the moment you went 2-0 down, you were the better side, and had you got a point out of that, a lot of people would have felt you probably deserved it.
Look, we were much closer. Our performance in the second half was warranted to get something, certainly to win that half of the game anyway. But we'd just given them a bit too much in the first half. The second goal was a killer for us. There was a tackle on Ellie, which meant that it got freed up for the first goal. Let Kerkez run through and start to build it where we lost the first goal from.
Did you feel that was a foul?
Well, I've not seen it again. I couldn't really be sure. I need to see it, but I probably would have said at the time I didn't think it was a foul. But there was a lot of other things I could have said during the game, but I'll not if you don't mind. But anyway, look, boys done a decent job and never gave up. Showed a great deal of resilience.
Can't remember very often a free kick being taken before the referee's blown his whistle. I certainly can't remember someone getting booked for it.
Yeah, no, we can't either, but I think the bigger thing is the game seemed to be controlled totally by the referee. We couldn't start anything quick, we couldn't play. So I've played plenty of games recently where teams are taking quick free kicks and it's not been the referee's whistle. So he never allowed us to get the game underway fast when we wanted to. I found it strange that it was only 3 minutes. I think if Liverpool were 2-1 up, 2-1 down, I should say, not sure if 3 minutes would have been put up.
For a derby, it was a little bit flat in the stadium. I thought at times maybe the early kick-off or whatever. James Tarkowski, a couple of real derby sort of tackles and interventions, some great defending from him. One was offside, actually, it wouldn't have counted anyway. But I actually can't think of a bad tackle in the game, really.
No, I thought that the game, we didn't do so well in the first half. I wish we had tackled a bit more and get a bit closer in the first half. They played very well. But second half we certainly got about it a bit better.
You're looking defensively strong. I mean, they scored 2 very good goals, but they didn't create a lot else.
No, I think, I'm not sure, but I think somebody said to me, I think they had maybe 9 attempts at goal and a couple, 3 or 4 on target, and we had 7. So maybe in the end of the day there wasn't so much between it. But we just missed that, maybe that clinical. I thought their 2 goals, you rightly said, were both taken really well. Technically very good, the first one, and the second one, the boy finishes it great. So, no, we just need that little bit edge of ourselves. But yeah, I've got no problems. The players are doing really well, and we just pulled up a little bit short against one of the best teams in the league, if not the best. And it shows that we're coming a long way.
David Moyes, the Everton manager, speaking to the BBC's Steve Wilson after a 2-1 defeat for his side in the Merseyside derby this lunchtime. So 5 wins out of 5 for Liverpool. 6 points clear at the moment at the top of the Premier League. Remember, Arsenal face Manchester City tomorrow. Everton 8th in the table. That's their second defeat of the campaign. Should we go back to Ewood Park? Any sign of any football with the match currently suspended due to heavy downpours at Blackburn Rovers with Ipswich Town? Brenna Woolley trailing 1-0.
The latest development is that the referee and his assistants have come out in the last minute or so. Kieran McKenna's out there now with him, and he's done a pitch inspection. Now, the ball is rolling in certain areas of the field, but in any area of the field, when he's dropped the ball, no bounce whatsoever. They've just walked back down the tunnel. Mark Ashton's there as well, with the referee, Stephen Martin, and his 2 assistants. And ultimately the rain continues to fall. There's no sign of it getting any better anytime soon. And if I were a betting man, I'd have serious concerns about this game resuming, just based on that effectively mini pitch inspection that we've just seen. That there's no bounce whatsoever on the ball wherever he dropped it. And some areas are obviously worse than others. We can see that from our vantage point up here. Absolutely sodden. And these poor souls down there, currently 7 stewards out there with pitchforks, just really putting their fingers in the dam. It's hardly touching the surface what they're doing. They're trying their best, but fighting a losing battle.
We're waiting for 100% clarification on this, aren't we? But going back to what happened in 2012 when the game was called off because of a frozen pitch at Portman Road, only 37 minutes have been played between Town and Middlesbrough that day. That one had to be replayed. We've got 80 on the clock at the moment, but the understanding is this one would indeed have to be replayed as well, and perhaps Jacob Greaves' red card therefore wouldn't count.
Yeah, as far as I understand, Alex has been to chat to a few people. That seems to be the case, doesn't it, Alex?
Yeah, it does. The lads are saying that it would need to be replayed, so game would be void, which would probably be better for Town if that's what happens. But whether it happens or not, but really I can't see this game being played, in my opinion, because the ref's been out. The ball turned a little bit, but as soon as he flung it up in the air, it came down. It was like splat, as if it was a pile of mud.
I just thought from his body language he seemed to make a decision, and I can't see from being out such a short space of time and everything that I watched him do, that snap or quick decision from the referee. I can't understand how it would be a positive one, as in this game is playable. He seemed to make it up his mind very quickly, and I've been looking down the tunnel on the screens up above us, and I see Alex Palmer's been visible, Leif Davis has been there. Well, they've just turned around and walked as if they're going back towards the dressing room. So I think hopefully I'm proved wrong in a sense, because you'd want this game to be done and dusted, but if I were a betting man, I would imagine that is going to be it. An awful lot of Blackburn fans, it has to be said, are leaving. If we do see this final 10 minutes, they're going to miss any action. But the chap down there, the steward in the centre of the field, with every step he's still splodging around in almost as much water as grass. So at the moment, even on the TV screens up above us, they're focused on fans departing. We're not having the luxury of seeing what is or is not going on down the tunnel. But as I say, the last thing I saw was Alex Palmer turning around from the pitch, Leif Davis joining him and walking back towards the dressing room area. So what a bizarre end to the afternoon this would be. The
pictures are up there of the Matusiwa ball roll, and it's kind of comical looking at that. But going back to something you mentioned earlier, Alex, as well, you've really got to take kind of the players into mind. It's very, very easy if this one were to be resumed for a player to go down and get an injury because of the conditions, and nobody wants to see that.
No, definitely, and it's dangerous. I mean, sliding tackle, somebody goes in, your momentum's going to take somebody out, even though you don't mean to, and somebody could end up with a serious injury. I know there's only 10 minutes to go and whatever, but it's not worth it. And personally, I don't think I think this game's going off. It's going to be cancelled, and I think there will be an announcement shortly, because all the players turned round and they all went back to the dressing rooms.
Yeah, we're looking down the tunnel now, and there's no sign of any players down there. There's lots of people on mobiles, lots of people looking concerned, dignitaries from both clubs and just general stewards and what have you, but no sign of any players from either side.
Well, full-time whistles going elsewhere. Let's bring you some of those in the Championship first of all. I mentioned Chris Wilder. Looks like he might be about to get a point on the board. It would be Sheffield United's first point of the season, of course, if they could get that against Charlton. They haven't. Charlton have scored in stoppage time, full time at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 0, Charlton Athletic 1. 6 games played this season for the Blades, 6 defeats. This is a team that were in the Championship playoff final last season, of course, and in the Premier League not so long ago. It's been a horrific start. Chris Wilder back in charge this week off the back of Ruben Sellers' sacking following the 5-0 defeat to Ipswich Town at Portman Road. But Sheffield United have lost again, 1-0 at home to Charlton Athletic. At Fratton Park, the full-time whistle's gone. 3 points for Sheffield Wednesday. They've won 2-0 away at Portsmouth. There's been a late goal at Carrow Road. Norwich have got one back against Wrexham, so Norwich 2, Wrexham 3. A late goal at Hull as well. Southampton have pulled one back, but they're going to lose. Hull 3, Southampton 1. The whistle has gone at Pride Park. Derby 0, Preston 1, the full-time score. We can go back to Ewood Park for any further updates from Alex and Brenner.
Yeah, just trying to get as much information as I can. Obviously, my understanding is that they're phoning the EFL to try to progress or not to progress, and everything I'm hearing is that the game will not continue. Waiting for absolute confirmation of that on the PA system here, but everything I'm hearing suggests that this one will end at the 80-minute mark, and we'll have to come back here later on in the season. Bad news for Blackburn, leading 1-0 at the time, but obviously good news for Ipswich Town. But the conditions it's still raining. It's still terrible out there. It's not a surprise. And it clearly looks like they're about to come to the obvious and the right decision, and abandoning this game seems to be the way.
When that decision is confirmed, we will let you know. The whistle's going now in the Premier League 3 o'clock kickoffs. In fact, full-time results from all of those. So in addition to Liverpool 2, Everton 1 this lunchtime, Tottenham have come back to rescue a point at Brighton, trailed 2-0. It's finished 2-2. Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1 as a full-time score. Nico Williams opening the score for Forest on 2 minutes. Jadon Anthony getting one back for Burnley on 20 minutes, and it's finished 1-1. Crystal Palace have got all 3 points at the London Stadium. They've won 2-1 at West Ham. Jean-Philippe Mateta giving Palace a half-time lead. Jarrod Bowen levelling shortly after the restart. Tyrick Mitchell with the winner for Oliver Glasner's side. West Ham 1, Crystal Palace 2, and full-time at Molineux. What a win for Leeds. They trailed 1-0 at Wolves, but Daniel Farke's side have won that one by 3-1. So at 7 points on the board already this season for newly promoted Leeds. Still to come in the Premier League from 5:30, Manchester United versus Chelsea. The 8 o'clock kickoff in the top flight tonight sees Fulham at home to Brentford. Let's get some reaction from elsewhere in the Championship then, while we're waiting for official confirmation that Blackburn Rovers and Ipswich Town's match at Ewood Park is to be abandoned. If you've just joined us, the players brought off after 80 minutes. The game suspended due to very heavy downpours and torrential conditions at Ewood Park. The ball barely rolling across the pitch. Blackburn were ahead through a Todd Cantwell penalty. Ipswich Town had Jacob Greaves sent off just before that. But there we go. Blackburn 1, Ipswich Town 0. It looks like that result will not stand because the game looks like it's going to be abandoned with 10 minutes to go. That's not officially 100% yet, but looks like it will be, and we'll get confirmation from Brenner and Alex as soon as we get that. Let's get reaction to last night's game in the Championship. Middlesbrough 2-1 winners at home to West Brom to move 4 points clear at the top of the table. Rob Edwards, the Borough manager, had this to say at full time.
A really good night for us in the end. It was a very tough game, as you could tell. You knew it was going to be, and it proved to be the way. They're a good team. Ryan's done a good job, doing a good job. They've got very good players. I don't want to disrespect anyone so far, but I think they've arguably been the best team that we've played so far. But I recognise that we played good teams, but they're good individuals and well coached. So we had to show another side to ourselves tonight, the resilience that I'm talking about. And it's not ideal when you're having to make changes in the first half. And I think we've got lads that are still getting up to speed with English football and what we're doing, so we're hopefully going to continue to improve as it goes on. We've not found our level yet, and I think that's the exciting thing.
That is so encouraging, isn't it? If you're seeing, and I think most fans would agree, that there's improvement to come. Well, from this base, that's not bad.
No, it's good. It's good from a points and a wins point of view, but we want to be more controlling. Probably tonight we were really good at certain parts without the ball, but there were certain areas as well where, because of their good play and what they did and how they play, probably caused us one or two problems as well and issues. But I think in the main we protected Sol fairly well. Maybe caused one or two of our own problems a couple of times, a couple of moments, but look, overall, as well as the relief that I always feel after a win, I'm really, really pleased, and it's always nice to win a Friday night game.
Is this one of those nights where you'll go home and just look back at everything and go, yeah, we got that right, that worked, happy with that?
Fairly happy. There's lots to improve on. Lots to improve on. So my overriding feeling was relief at the end there. And I wanted to try and express to Ryan, even though those guys might not want to hear at the time, but well done, you're a good team. That was a tough game, but we've still got work to do. So great, enjoy it. Everyone can enjoy it. Fans were brilliant tonight, but we want to improve. We will.
Rob Edwards, the Middlesbrough manager, speaking after last night's 2-1 win at home to West Brom. Like we say, Middlesbrough 4 points clear at the top of the Championship table after defeat for Stoke today. Bristol City have the chance to go second tomorrow when they face Oxford at Ashton Gate. Blackburn Rovers 1, Ipswich Town 0. The game suspended on 80 minutes at Ewood Park due to heavy downpours. Let's rejoin Brenner Woolley for an update on BBC Radio Suffolk. He's here now.
Yeah, the Ipswich Town players have come out of the tunnel in the last 30 seconds and have gone across to their travelling support, all 3,984 of them, to applaud them very much, given the impression that this game has indeed been abandoned, that they will see no more football. They've been handing over shirts, not necessarily their match shirts, but with this third kit being worn for the first time, and it was a gesture they planned to do anyway, to some of those supporters in the front row of the stand off to our right-hand side, and that in turn has sparked a fair number of Blackburn supporters to give up the ghost, to believe that this one is not going to be resuming. The Town players walking around almost like last day of the season style, almost lap of honour-esque, in front of their travelling fans, applauding them and thanking them for making the trip. Across to this near side in flip-flops comes Jack Clark, about to walk back down the tunnel, but still no official announcement. But everything about this scene suggests we're not going to see any more football, Alex. No chance at all.
Yeah. Not only that, Brendan, they've just emptied all the Lucozade bottles out on the pitch as well. So they've went. The coaching staff have just emptied them all out and been back in the tunnel. So the game's off, but they've not made an announcement.
No, they still haven't said anything. They've got to tidy this one up. It's been dragged out, but Mark Ashton walking along the near side with a smile on his face. He's also been to applaud the away fans, who most likely are going to have to make this long old trip on some Tuesday or Wednesday night later in the autumn, or at some point in the winter. They're all full of smiles at the moment, and even the Ipswich Town fans are now disappearing. So that, I would imagine, is that. But, as I say, we still, as we must in these situations, have to wait for the official announcement to come.
Smodic down there, going around all the Blackburn fans. That's a nice gesture as well. Just going around all the players.
Nice, classic Kieran as well. Stopped to speak to some of the stewards from
confirmation
Blackburn
now, actually, on the Blackburn Twitter page. It's coming here now on the tannoy.
I'm sorry to say the match has been called off by the officials. Massive cheer from the away fans, and up above them the sign says thank you for visiting. They will have to visit Ewood Park again later on this season in the league, because this match has been abandoned. 80 minutes of football played here at Ewood Park this afternoon. Town down to 10 men, Greaves sent off. A goal behind, Cantwell converting from a penalty not long after in the second half. But after 80 minutes, the ball would not roll, it would not bounce. The players went off down the tunnel, and maybe 20, 30 minutes almost later, official confirmation has just come out of the speakers to say this game is over. This game is null and void. Ipswich Town will have to return to Blackburn later on in the season.
I've had this text from Reg in Mildenhall, says sometimes in life you get lucky. Referring to Ipswich Town today, because it was a lost cause, wasn't it? It was a real uphill struggle, down to 10 men in those conditions and 1-0 down. It's I guess we'll take a replay, won't we?
Yeah, we will. It's handy as far as Ipswich Town were concerned. They hadn't been at their best. Conditions played a big part in that, as we were saying. But yes, staring down the barrel of their second defeat of the season, and real disappointment that they weren't able to build potentially on that big win over Sheffield United by getting anything from this game. But that they have had a bit of luck, and people sometimes say better being a lucky side than a good side at times. So on this occasion, this decision has gone Ipswich Town's way. I'll obviously pop downstairs and get some reaction from Kieran McKenna. I think one or two people are disappearing off down there, so I'll kind of follow them and see what he's got to say about the afternoon and this bizarre way in which this match has finished. This is the latest I've ever known a game being abandoned, and now there's pretty much just press people in the crowd, because those that had stayed on in the vain hope that we'd see an extra 10 minutes of action, they've all heard the announcement and they're disappearing.